tell you, this fucking show stresses me out more than, it's just a lot of work, man. There's a lot of work that goes into this fucking shindig every Tuesday night. I mean, it takes us 45 minutes to half an hour.
I set up early
minutes.
tonight. I started sitting up at 7:10. Here we are 50 minutes later, and we're like scrambling to get on the air without being too late.
And we always want to be right at 8 o'clock, right? And there's always something
You never make it.
that goes wrong. And
It makes you respect Raw and stuff like that more. Could you imagine?
Production, right?
My God, the amount of shit they got to do. But I mean, they got all day to do it. We can't set up in the beginning of the day, or we couldn't do our job all day.
right. It's man,
Ooh,
it's cold out.
I'm allowed to wear sweaters on here too. I didn't know that.
I forgot.
Yeah,
See, we're in such a goddamn rush that I forgot to take off my jacket. It's cold. It's gonna snow later this week.
Is it?
It's gonna snow later this week.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's gonna snow later this week. So that's good. Supposed to get some snow up here in New York on Thursday. I think Thursday. Actually, tomorrow night.
So you're gonna need sweaters, but right now you don't need a sweater because
No.
you got this great T-shirt.
Beautiful T-shirt. Speaking of T-shirts.
You got this great T-shirt.
Good segue, brother. So speaking of T-shirts, last night, where's my boy? There he is.
There he
in
is.
the chat room. You know, we do every Monday night during Raw, and we get a decent turnout, but I know a lot of you guys are probably sitting on your couch and want to watch Raw, and you're offline, so I don't blame you for not coming to the chat room.
Blame them a little bit. I have a different take on that.
I
I say, like, normally I'm not in there, so you kind of just talk to them here and there, but last night it was basically like, if they were tuning in, it's like watching Raw with us, which isn't no great prize, but I think it's a little more loose than the show, because we don't have a camera on us.
Right.
We don't act as phony professional.
Did you wake up with a hangover this morning?
Absolutely.
Me too, brother.
Yeah. We got drunk watching the show with you guys last night, and
so anyway,
I thought it would be cool for more people to check that out.
Right, but I mean, we get a
Just
decent
making the
turnout.
hard sell for those watching now. You should
Every
check
Monday
us out
night,
Mondays.
every Monday night, same place, right? You come into the live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. You get in there, and we just kind of give audio as Raw airs, kind of during the commercial breaks, stuff like that. Normally during the commercial breaks, but last night, kind of sat down and watched the show together, and got shit-faced. Well, anyway,
yeah, you were going somewhere with that. Go ahead.
They brought up this goddamn T-shirt thing, and they bring it up every single week. No. There's like 4 or 5, 6 different people, right?
Yeah.
And they bring it up every single week. Did you send Anthony's T-shirt yet? And every week, I gotta come on here and I gotta say, nah, I didn't do it this week. You know what I mean? So it got to the point where
now that you did it, I can say I always thought that you had incredible balls to just still promote the fact that they could buy to you and say, hey, we got these great T-shirts. Email us if
you know what got to me?
Like this fucking guy.
You know what got to me? The dick guy. He was an asshole.
Scott's.
He was an asshole on my Facebook page, and he said, "You're nothing but a scammer, and all you do is scam people out of money." And the guy had sent the money months and months and months ago. I mean, we're talking like 4 or 5 months ago or something like that, and he never got his T-shirt. So that got to me, where somebody, first of all, I would never scam anybody out of money. If anybody ever sent money for a T-shirt, I would never take your money and run away with it. So it got to me a little bit, and finally I said, all right, man. And not only that, but week after week, we come on here, and they're asking, you know, where's this dude's T-shirt? You know what I mean? So, last night during Raw, we got out the boxes, okay?
And boxes of T-shirts.
The boxes, lots of T-shirts.
Hundreds of them.
Hundreds of them.
It's ridiculous.
So,
I literally folded all of them today.
He
so
did.
I don't know how many
So there were 2 boxes, and we went through, and we got Anthony's T-shirt. And
Gave him
we
2 of them,
put it. So we actually gave him 2 of them. We sent out 2 of them for Anthony. So then today, but the first thing when Boone came to see me in the morning to say good morning, good morning, Boone, good morning, Clark. He said, dude, we got to get Anthony's T-shirt out today. And I said, dude, we're doing it. We just got to get to the post office before 5 o'clock. So at about 4:15 today, we went down to the post office and we shipped out Anthony Remy 2 T-shirts. We shipped out Anthony Remy, and I don't want to come on here and it's like, oh yeah, they finally, because we should have shipped these out months ago. But I want you to know that Anthony, and I want Anthony to know that I'm sorry, number one, and number two, your T-shirts are in the mail, and according to this, it's scheduled to be there on Thursday afternoon. At some point on Thursday. What do you got? Put something up there, bro. I see what you're doing. Alright, so anyway, but just to prove to the people, Anthony's T-shirts. I don't know if you can see that.
Man, you better be careful. There might be like addresses, and credit cards, stuff on there.
You're right. There might be. But Anthony's T-shirts in the mail. So listen, dude, I'm sorry again, and I sent you 2 of them. So hopefully that sort of.
I'll address one comment from the chat room. Jerichoholic says he's scared to order a T-shirt. Trust me.
It's not.
I stayed on the guy. I made sure we got to the. There was no way he was getting out of it today. I like 3 times I said, we're definitely going, right? We're definitely going. And then while he hopped in the shower to get clean and shaved up for the show so he looks pretty on camera, I took it upon myself to go digging around to find the size that Mr. Anthony Remy wanted, the correct size of the T-shirt. So I had to go through all of them to find it. And then I'm folding them and cleaning them up and making sure they're not wrinkled, and I got them all ready. And then when he got out of the shower, I said, all right, come on, right now before we forget, let's go to the post office. He got right in the car, we drove right on down, and
that part didn't show up.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I think I showed that
part. You should the top half.
Yeah. Oh. Well, anyway, so Anthony, I'm sorry, man, and your T-shirts in the mail. Speaking of those T-shirts, if you want one of these beauties,
where can they get them?
Turn around here. On the back side, you won't believe this shit. Hosted by Ryan Clark and Matt Boone, WZROnline.com, every Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, WZROnline.com. The front over here features the logo for WZR TV every Tuesday night. You can email me, webmaster@ProWrestlingScoops.com. I promise you guys it won't take that long. The post office is right down the street. We found out, we actually didn't know where the post office was until today. We knew the general vicinity.
We had an idea, yeah.
But, so we got down there, and it's a real short drive, so we can ship these out. Shoot me an email, webmaster@ProWrestlingScoops.com. We're going to drink some beer tonight.
Got a little thirsty.
We're going to drink some beer tonight?
Got a little thirsty.
We'll drink some beer tonight, man.
I'm no-selling right now because I got a knot from drinking it. Oof.
Yeah. First one of the day kind of always does that, but it tastes good, right? Drinking the Molson Ices tonight. These are strong beers, man.
They're strong, but they're nasty.
I haven't drank, man, after last night, I mean, we drank a lot of beer last night, and
I know I drank a shitload of beer last night.
I know, I woke up this morning, there was like 2 or 3 of them in the fridge last night before I went to bed, and I said, well, you can finish the rest of them. Sure enough, there weren't any left this morning,
10 minutes after you said that. Yeah, I got into an argument on Facebook with your fans. Not an argument, but like a debate.
You know what?
I was pretty drunk, so it was a heated debate.
You know what?
What?
Yeah. You gotta talk about cigarette. Here's the problem. We're gonna talk. What we're gonna do tonight. Obviously, we had Bound for Glory on Sunday night.
You already skipped it.
And
you already skipped it.
What I skip?
What was on the? That's Sunday. So
UFC. We're gonna talk. All right. We're gonna start on Saturday.
Guys. As soon as the show's over, well, dude, this was so good. We're going to talk about this. And I said, yeah, we'll see. After a pay-per-view Sunday, Raw Monday, you won't even want to talk about it.
UFC 166 was a great show, bro. I mean,
they're calling it the greatest UFC show ever.
Ever?
That's what they're calling it.
I don't know about that.
Critics, yeah.
It was good.
I'll tell you this. I know my history, and
it's pretty good.
Top 2 or 3 all time UFC.
Yeah.
And if you compare Pride, it's not even in the top 10 if you add up all the best UFCs and Prides.
Yeah, it was great, man. The main event was awesome. The Diego Sanchez fight with Gilbert Melendez, that was awesome.
They're calling that the best fight of all time.
Yeah?
I don't think so. It was definitely the fight of the year. I don't even know if it was fight of the year because short-term memory. I mean, Jones Gustafsson was awesome.
Wow.
Gustafsson. And then there was a Vanderlei Silva Brian Stann fight in Japan that people already forget about. That was insane as well. But definitely a great fight. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little
So we're going to talk UFC, then we're going to talk TNA Bound for Glory from Sunday night, and then Monday Night Raw from last night. But you got into a debate with people on the Facebook page last night.
Mainly about the future of TNA and whether or not they'll make it, blah, 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 blah. And then a lot of, WWE's better because they're better at advertising and yada yada yada.
Yeah,
that kind of caught me the wrong. Their example was RVD, and it was a guy named Matt Johnson. I kept calling him MJ. Matt Johnson. So I couldn't remember even though I was drunk. What are we looking at?
No, I'm trying to. Where's the browser with the?
It's right there at the.
Right here, over here.
Bottom. All the way at the bottom.
Oh, right here.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So okay. All right. So, anyways, I was talking to the Mr. Matt Johnson, and his example was. When RVD came to WWE, because they promoted it so well, he had such a bigger impact in WWE than he did in TNA.
Matt Johnson from Facebook?
From your Facebook,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I won't get into the whole debate. The bottom line is, all he got was a great pop from the crowd. He didn't sell it. He didn't move. He didn't do anything really. Now that's WWE's fault because they chose not to use him in a certain way because of his interesting contract situation, which you have a nice scoop about. We can get into a little bit later as well.
Right.
But yeah, just basically, it was a lot of that.
Well, the thing that gets
real
me
quick,
is,
not to cut you off. The other real thing was, you get the perception talking to your fans that they want
that's where I'm
TNA
going.
to
That's
go
where
out.
I'm going.
So go ahead. They want TNA to go out of business, which just is stupid. Why would you want that? I don't care if you like them or you don't like them.
That's what I'm saying. You can dislike TNA and you can dislike the Indies
They suck,
and you can
blah, blah,
dislike
blah.
Ring of Honor. It's very easy to type, oh, this company sucks, this, that, and that. And Bound for Glory
sucked.
Granted, it was not a good show, and it was the WrestleMania show. I mean, it was bad. The main event was pretty good.
The main event was awesome.
But other than that,
Angle Rood was okay.
Angle Rood was pretty good.
Storm Gunner and Bromans was pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the opener, the Ultimate X.
But it's just, you see a lot of fans where it's like they want TNA to fail or they want Ring of Honor to fail.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is if TNA goes out of business, which is very possible in 2014.
I'm saying it's happening. That's my prediction.
Ring of Honor's got financial troubles right now. If these companies go out of business, you got nothing. You're stuck with WWE, and there's no alternative to another product because the indie promotions are not on Spike TV or the USA Network and whatnot. There's just no other alternatives.
Yeah, other national alternative.
If you're a true fan of professional wrestling, you want the indie promotions to succeed. You want TNA to succeed. And to see a lot of people just sit there and type, TNA sucks, TNA's brutal. Hey, the booking may suck, but for anybody to wish that the company would go out of business, I mean, that's not a true wrestling fan, in my opinion.
You're basically wishing that 50 or 60 wrestlers have trouble paying their bills and feeding their families.
That's another thing, is this TNA roster, you got a group of guys that what you see on TV, people are playing gimmicks, this, that, and the other thing, but they got kids to feed at home. They got families to feed, man. They need a paycheck. And if TNA were to go out of business, I mean, WWE would pick up some of them, but I mean, a lot of guys are out of jobs, and the indie promotion aren't paying all that much. A couple $100, maybe $1,000 for a top guy.
As far as WWE would pick up some of them, look at it this way: AJ Styles was just available. They didn't even want him.
They didn't.
They didn't even want him.
No,
and that's one of their best guys.
They've never been high on Samoa Joe. AJ's always been. I mean, I don't think AJ wants to go to WWE anyways. I mean, if the offer was there, I don't know that he would take it.
Well, if we're talking about a TNA without a business, WWE would only get a certain amount of guys.
I think AJ might go overseas to Japan or something like that.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know. It kind of bugs me that people want to see TNA go out of business. Now you were talking about Rob Van Dam. We just put an article up on the website.
We're going right into the news. We got football to talk about real quick.
Yeah. Well, just the RVD scoop.
Okay.
Rob Van Dam, a couple of weeks ago, some of you guys might have saw on some websites, a guy that we won't mention his name. I mean, the idea with Rob Van Dam is he signed a short-term WWE contract with the option of re-signing. So it was a 3-month contract. He would come in, he would get a feel for how he was going to be used. Were they going to put him in a main event position, which they did. But
I guess.
Well, he was fighting for the world title multiple times, so that's the main event over on SmackDown. But anyways, and then the option was when the contract were to expire, he would take a break, and then he would come to WWE and he would say, I either want to resign or I don't want to resign. And they would take it in increments where it would be, 3 months on, 3 months off, or 3 months on, 5 months off, something like that. And he would be open. But he wanted to go, he wanted to sign a short-term deal, find out how things were, do I want to be here, and then he would have the option to re-sign. Right now, he had the 3-month WWE contract that expired. He's on a break right now, and it remains to be seen if he's going to return down the line. It's not a guarantee that Rob's going to return. So WWE sent out a statement today that said Rob's not under a performance contract.
Exactly.
is their wording. A performance contract. That's for a reason. And the reason being is, a guy went out and he just, I was, mentioned in the post, Ryan Clark is completely wrong on this, and he's not under a performance contract because there are other websites out there that are reporting that he signed like a 3-year deal or a 1-year deal, and part of that deal, he was under contract for 1 year or 3 years, and he would go 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off, but he would be under that contract for a full year. It's not the case, man. It's a contract by contract by contract by contract, where it's not a long-term type thing. It's a short-term contract. If he wants to come back, they got to sit down at a table and sign another contract, and then he goes for 3 months.
I'll say that the performance thing, and I don't know, so I'm just guessing, but I say the reason they worded it that way is because probably what happened was he signed a deal to be a WWE employee,
right?
Maybe not long term, but certainly longer than 3 months. Now he signed a performance contract because there's different kinds of
to be on TV and working.
And there's different languages in the contract. Like
right.
This guy's got a Legends deal. This guy's got a public relations deal. This guy's got a whatever deal. He probably signed at least so that he can't work on another TV based company like TNA or ROH or shit like that.
Right.
But if they want to use him as an active performer, then he would have the option to either say yes, I will resign and you can use me on your TV, or no, I don't feel like it, and I'll go make public appearances for you. Or, I'm just guessing because he's doing the Ringside Fest this weekend.
Right, but that's through WWE.
That's booked through WWE, but he's not an active performer, so he might still have some kind of a contract with the company. I don't know.
Right, no doubt. So hopefully that cleared it up a little bit with the WWE statement. And
it's a very unique deal. Not many guys.
There's just some. There's some. We'll move on.
Where are we going? You gotta let that out, dude. That sounded interesting to me.
No, there's just some people that get a life.
Oh, you're talking about
fucking life, man. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put something up if I didn't. Anyway, so football. We got to talk a little bit of football, right?
You have to, I guess, yeah.
It was a bad week, bro. I lost in both my fantasy leagues, in the WZR league and my other league. In my other league, I'm 1-6 in fantasy. I'm going for like the all-time worst record. My entire team is injured, man. All my guys are out. Gronkowski came back this week. That's big news for me.
Yeah.
He's going to do work every week. But despite that, my Buffalo Bills defeated a very, very good Miami Dolphins team. on Sunday.
Or no.
It was the final. It came down to the final drive once again, man. It's like all Bills
lost
games.
Last week in overtime.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The previous week, Bills.
Detroit, I know, almost went to overtime, but they did, and they lost.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys wound up losing, but you won in your fantasy.
I won in fantasy by a large margin, but I played the worst guy in the league. He was 0-6.
I gotta win. I got
no wins. But next week I'm gonna need my Ridley back.
Yes.
Because check this out.
I'm gonna need my Sproles back too.
Next week, I've got Brandon Marshall out.
Yeah.
I got a bye week. I've got Arian Foster out. He's got a bye week. Ryan Matthews out. Bye week. So I've got no running backs except Sproles to start now, and I don't want Sproles. He sucks.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't tell him what we did. Me and Boone did a little behind the scenes thing. My guy was off this week. Boone did me a favor. I'm gonna return the favor, but shouldn't really talk about that.
It's nothing illegal. I mean,
it's not illegal. I mean, we can do it, and we did it. But what are you gonna do?
In the end, we didn't do anything because you couldn't use him anyway.
Dino UK, you up next?
I'm playing Dino, and he's got a great team.
I thought I play him.
I play him next week. I play him this coming Sunday. Well, Thursday.
He says he plays me.
I play Dino.
I don't think so.
Or no, I play Lance Winter. What the hell am I saying? I play Winter's Lair.
Yeah. So Dino's up next, and you got the Lair.
I got the Lair. I was looking at his team, and I'm a little scared. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit scared.
Dino UK, I'm coming for you.
I beat him the last time we played, if I'm not mistaken. But this time around, he looks. I don't know if he has a different team or something, but it's just. I've got so many guys on buys this week that I don't know how I'm going to win.
Dino UK's 0-7. Is that the guy that's 0-7?
Yeah, BWR Nation.
Ow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not very good.
Well, that's an easy win. I got an easy win coming up. Is that what you're saying?
I bet you lose now. No, you just said that.
I probably
the King is
jinxed
jinxing himself.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And then after that, guess who I play?
Me and you.
Me and you.
Me and you. Round 2.
Round 2.
Let's do it, man.
Real quick, before we move on, who did round 1 go to? Let that silence set in for a little bit.
Got a live chat room out in progress tonight. WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Get there. Lots and lots of people in there as always tonight.
Know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
So we're gonna
I'm gonna listen to that.
What? You gonna listen to what? That?
It's Matt B-O-O-N-E and WZR, the place to be.
I'll stop it. Alright. Alright.
To hear this fucking guy trying to sell me, he's like, it's actually a good rap. You should be proud of that.
Yeah, I think it is. I told him that last night. I said, you know what? The rap's not that bad. It's not that bad.
We got a caller. Are we taking callers whenever? How are we doing?
Take the phone calls.
I'm supposed to reach over your nuts here and take
that's right. Yeah, I gotta do the phone calls. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Got to turn the speakers down.
Hey, my question's about Sweet Tea.
Shit, they're not gonna hear it.
Also known as Prince Albert.
It's coming out of speakers.
Fix it. Triple H's promo last night, they're talking about trying to find the face of the WWE. And, they're looking at Randy Orton and they're saying Daniel Bryan can't be the face. Why can't Sweet Tea be the face of WWE? He would draw so much money compared to Jericho and Edge. What do you guys think?
I need you to do me a favor. And you brought up some good points, but I need you to repeat pretty much everything that you just said because we could hear you, but the people listening on the stream couldn't hear you. So hook it up one more time. Sweet Tea, the face of WWE, brother.
Yeah, I think he got the right face to be the...
Hold on, bud. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I don't know what the fuck is... There we go.
All right, now we got it. All right, so Sweet Tea, the face of WWE. Why?
Well, I think he's got the right look. He's got, he's a big guy. He's got the power. He's got pretty good agility. He can cut a sweet promo. He can pierce somebody's skin inside the ring.
Yeah, he can ride the hell out of a wrecking ball.
Sweet Tea, you know what? I mean, listen, Sweet Tea. He's I don't know if he's got the look. I mean, yeah, he's a big guy. Remember when they were bringing him in, when he signed, they were airing those vignettes, right? They had all those vignettes that they were going to bring this dude in as a monster, right? Tenzai was coming to WWE. They had big plans. They were actually going to have him feud with John Cena, and then they brought him in. They got him under contract, and they brought him in, and they made him a complete comedy act. So, I mean, they did have big plans for him, but they soured on him, and they've been soured, ever since. So, I don't know. What do you think, Tenzai? If he was to be repackaged in a different gimmick where he would turn into like a monster, you say no?
No. I mean, what does he have to offer that other monsters don't? He says he can cut a sweet promo. First of all,
can but he's got I want to compare the size to like a Biggie Langston, right?
Biggie Langston in terms of size, but Langston's more cut up and defined. So
true.
There you go. Langston has a better look already, and that's the only thing you could say about Tenzai is his look.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you guys feel about a Ryback versus Sweet Tea loser leaves town match?
Well, they're going to do Ryback versus Biggie Langston, and we'll see how that comes across first. I mean, I think that'll be a boy. You are high on Sweet Tea, my man.
Sweet Tea, man. I think he's the next greatest thing. He's the next big thing.
I don't know.
Thank you for the call.
I don't know, man.
I think somebody in the chat called. I think that was the most unique prank call ever. There's no way.
He really likes Sweet Tea. I think he was serious. I think
maybe he'll be our new Maurice guy. Ain't got any update on Sweet Tea?
Sweet Tea every week. What's up with Sweet Tea? I forgot they called him Sweet Tea, dude. I always go by Tenzai, man. He said Sweet Tea. I'm thinking, who the fuck is Sweet Tea?
He's got Sweet Tea, Tenzai, 8-Train, Prince Albert, and I think I'm missing one. There's a lot of names for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of names, and he's just all of them. Actually, he was a big star overseas in Japan. Maybe that's what he's talking about, man. Over in Japan, that dude was a mega star over there.
He was, one of the bigger foreign guys in Japan.
Is that really one of his names? The hip hop hippo?
That can't be right. 3 people said
Everybody said it, though.
So, yeah, I
the
guess
hip hop hippo?
I don't know. Maybe that's one of his nicknames now that he's doing the hip hop shit with the
hippity hip.
That's not how it goes.
Don't stop.
You want me to give it to you?
Well, wait a minute. Before you do, let me get this real quick. Because if you're going to freestyle...
I'm not going to freestyle. I'll give you the hip hop.
All right, let me get it.
I said a hip hop, the hibbit and a hip hop, and you don't stop. Rockin' with the bang bang boogie. Said up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. A skiddly bebop, we rock a Scooby Doo. Well, guess what? America, we love you because you rock and you roll. When it's so much so you can rock till you're 101 years old. I don't mean to brag, and I don't gotta go all day. I know this song.
What the fuck was this? We got it. That's a sound drop.
If anybody isolates that, I quit the show.
That's the new sound drop.
I quit the show.
Ranjit, where's the Ranjit?
If I have to hear that back ever, I quit.
We want Ranjit. We need it added to our soundboard up here. We're recording every week.
I know.
Who said that, Dino UK? We got the archive. You go back and listen to it. That was pretty good.
I'll listen to it when I listen to the archive, but if I ever have that as a drop, I quit.
You quit?
I'm done. Ranjit says he's getting it.
I love it. Ranjit! Alright, so what else do we have to talk about? WWE SmackDown and main event being taped tonight, Tuesday.
Did we find out where they are?
No, I didn't. I meant to go check. They were in, where's SmackDown tonight? They were in Memphis last night, so I'm thinking somewhere in Louisiana or maybe still Tennessee. What else is in Tennessee? Memphis,
Knoxville.
Tennessee, Knoxville. Probably Knoxville. I bet it's Knoxville.
Probably not.
I bet it's Knoxville. You want to bet? $2.
$2.
Knoxville. Knoxville, Tennessee. Somebody in the chat.
Nashville.
Damn it, man.
I owe me $3.
I hate being wrong. All right, Nashville. So they're in Nashville. That's on
just
the
had a
East
chance
Coast.
to fucking knockout punch me right now. You know that?
No, I was gonna say attitude. your tab or something like that.
I said he owes me
man.
$3 when in reality I owe him 4 figures.
It's okay.
It's a true story.
All right,
guys, shit. You should have heard on Raw last night. He was running down his ads to me off mic. So we thought, and then it turns out they could hear when he was talking about his money.
They're on the East Coast in Nashville tonight. So it's gonna be bless you. That's a cough. Smoke a cigarette. Yeah, but so it's gonna be an early night. Right, 10:30 Eastern time, about that 10:45 for SmackDown and main event spoilers tonight. Be a quick night. We're going to be taking live phone calls throughout the show. Whenever you guys want to call up, you can do so. It's 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. Whenever you guys want to call throughout this 2-hour program, you can give us a call and pick up your live phone calls all night long. We're going to get into Bound for Glory here in just a second. You're an asshole, man. You're a fucking asshole, man. And then I gotta sit here and I gotta get out of here. So anyway, let's see here. Let's see. SmackDown, we talked about that in Nashville. WrestlingAnswer.com, gonna put you, if you ever, dude,
I swear to God,
you got all the information you need and you're not doing anything.
No, I decked the whole damn thing out the first time you gave it to me. You want me to take the ads off? I swear to God, I almost did that today. And
did you?
I got stuck. Raja, emailed me a press release to put up, and I started doing news, so I didn't get back to it.
Alright, well, we're going to get it up. WrestlingAnswer.com, we got big plans for that. And then our Raw live chat room every Monday night from 8 to 11 Eastern time. We put the audio stream up. You guys can hear myself and Matty B give rundown of Raw during the commercial breaks. We're going to be running down Raw here, the high points and the low points here in just a little bit. So let's get into it, man. TNA Bound for Glory from this past Sunday night. Actually, before we do, two things. Two quick things.
Number one.
Personal stories over the past week.
The fight. Yeah.
Two personal stories.
How long is a week? Man, it feels like that was months ago already.
Two quick personal stories.
That was right after the show, wasn't it? We went to go get beer, we came back.
No, it was.
No, it was a different night.
I want to say Thursday.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Say last or Friday.
It was Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday.
All right. Well, the first story is, first of all, I had to go to court yesterday for a dog violation. It wasn't even my dog. Somebody's dog. A buddy of mine, his dog got loose, and he said he already had one violation, so he couldn't go and reclaim the dog because they wouldn't give it back because he's already got a violation. So I went down there and I claimed the dog for him, and I said, yeah, it's my dog, and I went through the whole process. You got to get it licensed, you got to pick it up, this, that, and the other thing, rabies shots and everything else, right? So I get through the whole process, and the last thing the animal control officer says, she says, oh, by the way, I have to write you a ticket, an appearance ticket. And I said, really, man? So I went back to my buddy and I said, listen, man, I said, she wrote me a ticket for your dog. I didn't know I was going to have to go to court, so I had to go into court yesterday. I sat there in court yesterday, went before the judge. They gave me a $100 fine. It was $60. No, they forced me to take my hat off in the courtroom. That's the way it works. But so anyway, I had to go before the judge yesterday, everything else. And then the other personal story, there's really nothing to that one. But the other personal story is there was an incident a couple of weeks ago, and this relates to dogs.
White trash.
This relates to dogs. As, you know, basically, I took Reggie to the vet yesterday, too. I got him all checked out. Did you wear socks and sandals? Yeah, I did.
At the court?
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course I walked in there in socks and sandals.
You're supposed to dress up when you go to court.
No, I wore this too. I wore this in my WZR shirt.
Did you?
You saw me come back. I had my WZR shirt and my hoodie.
You had a nice pair of pants on, though, right?
I had a pair of khakis. I wore my WZR shirt and I wore this this hoodie that I got. Whatever. It's only it's not like I'm going for a trial or something like that. I'm going to
you dress
traffic.
Up when you go to court.
I'm going to dog or traffic court. Get out of here. So anyway, so there was an incident a couple of weeks ago where my sister Allison, she walks the dog. She walks Daisy and Reggie, right? So she's out there, and this woman, the next door neighbor, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and the story goes, I wasn't there, the story goes that Allison was out there walking the dog, and the woman came up and said, oh, how's it going, Daisy, how's it going, and came up to pet Daisy, and Daisy wound up, getting excited, and jumped up and put her paws on the woman, and she was getting
puppy, a lot of energy.
She was getting ready, not bite her or anything, but put her paws, and it got her a little bit dirty. It was a rainy day out there, and it was a little muddy.
I didn't know that.
She was getting ready for work, and so she got real angry. But you were petting the dog, saying, "Oh, how are you?" So the dog got excited and jumped up on her and got her a little bit dirty, and she was going to work, and this, that, and the other thing. So she started screaming, and she said, "You're nothing but white trash," is what she says to my sister. Well, I heard about this, and me and Boone, being the assholes that we are, every time we would walk by her door, I would yell, white trash, every time we would walk by the door, and there was never anything. Well, on Thursday night, white trash, as we walked by her door, and the door pops open. And out she fucking comes in the hallway, and she says, "Excuse me, did you say something?" And I turned around, and I had been waiting for this moment for a couple of weeks
the big
now.
Showdown.
And I turned around to her and I said, "You know what? I did. Fucking white trash." And then it got into this whole thing. I said, "Don't you ever call one of my family members white trash, this, that, and the other thing." Okay? And started getting loud. She had this boyfriend or something in the back with a big smirk on his face, something like that.
He looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin with
Good old Boone comes up from behind and grabs me by the shoulders and turns me around and escorts me back in the door before that bitch got slapped right in her fucking lips. I'd never hit a woman, but
no.
She was, I don't like her. Yeah. I don't like her.
For my, yeah,
I don't
we were
like
coming
her.
back from playing basketball. We say the white trash when we're going by the door.
I don't like her.
Yeah, I say that a lot. I don't like her. But we were walking by the door, white trash. She says it too. I go inside. No, the door's shut from our house. So I'm walking back to the room because I'm tired as shit from playing. So I hear some commotion going on outside the door, and I think it's about to be a fight. I don't know it's a girl yet, so I go fucking marching to the door ready to kick someone's ass. I open the door, and there's this fucking fat fucking blonde bitch yelling at him. And he's fucking yelling back, and then I kind of scope the scene out. There's no dude, so I just grab him, I turn around. We walk inside, I shut the door behind us, and make sure it doesn't get too out of hand. I didn't need any cops over here. I don't want that. I don't like cops.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
I don't like her one
She's not
bit.
my favorite person either.
No. So anyway, there's a little story.
Kind of a non-story, too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to make it into something. I saw.
I see how you colored it in a little bit.
Yeah. It was. Well, I thought it was an okay story.
It was pretty.
You didn't like it?
Yeah. I knew about the whole backstory. So all really that happened was you said white trash, and she said, "Did you say something?" And y'all argued for like 3 seconds. And that was pretty much it.
Mm.
But yeah, the whole story as a whole, I guess, is pretty decent. I don't know. It was a Clark rant.
Mm. It's unbelievable.
It's nuts.
This is nuts.
What about that fight?
It's unbelievable. What about what fight?
You and Caparizzo's fan club or whatever the fuck.
You
didn't want to talk about that one.
We're not getting into that one.
The good one we want to talk about.
So TNA Bound for Glory, man. Oh, boy. This past Sunday night, pay-per-view, it was TNA's WrestleMania show. It's the big one, right? It's the one that everybody waits for all year long, and
it sucked.
What a disappointment.
It was bad.
Know?
Did you watch the countdown special on Spike?
Watched everything, man.
That was
watched
atrocious.
Everything.
Like if you watched that and said, "Oh my God, I wasn't gonna order Bound for Glory, but now I am," then
yeah,
I want to take a hit of the crack you're smoking because it must be some strong shit.
It was.
I smoke crack.
It was pretty bad, man. I mean, they kicked it off like Boone said with Spike TV. They had a 1-hour countdown show, similar to what UFC does. What's the matter? Smoking the eye?
I ended up. I got smoking this eye. I take one drag. I get smoking this eye. I looks like I'm basically crying right now.
We want to know what you guys thought, man. Tell us in the chat room. Call us up live while we run this down. 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. Or in the chat room, WZROnline.com.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Kind of cut me off there.
A little bit.
/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there. Lots and lots of people in there, as always, tonight. So they kicked it off, man. They hyped up that on the pre-show there was going to be this gauntlet tag team match, right? And the winner of that match would go on to face the TNA Tag Team Champions later in the show. So we had the Bromans wound up winning this, right?
They had Mr. Olympia with them.
Mr. Olympia. Right.
Olympia.
Right.
Yeah, Phil. They made him seem like the biggest celebrity in the world, too.
I know.
I've never heard of a fucking guy in my life, but...
I'm gonna catch so much heat for this.
Say it.
I like the bromance. I like the bromance tag team. I like the bromance tag team. Listen, wait. Watch, the chat's gonna jump.
You got heat with me already.
They're gonna jump all over me for that, man.
There you go.
Listen, there are gimmicks in professional wrestling.
Each his own.
We know this. There are gimmicks in professional wrestling. You've got a bull running around on Raw. You've got the Los Matadores on Raw every week. These are gimmicks, right? Sin Cara got the mask gimmick. They're gimmicks, man. I'm trying to think of somebody in WWE. Santino Marella. Dude doesn't talk like that in real life and act like a goofball, but he's funny, man. The bromance, it's a Jersey Shore takeoff. Zack Ryder had the same gimmick almost in WWE with the spiked hair and the woo woo woo. Everybody loved him in WWE. Robbie E has got so much charisma. And I'm not I'm not a big fan of the gimmick with the Jersey Shore stuff, but you put that dude in a different gimmick and Robbie E is a star, bro. The way you gotta think of it from Robbie E's perspective. Okay, this dude is given a gimmick that's a takeoff of the Jersey Shore, and he goes out there and he plays it to a T. He is gold.
That gimmick,
he is gold with that gimmick, man. I mean, they're asking him, or he has to play that gimmick.
I got this idea. Jersey Shore's popular. I'll do a little spin-off of it. You never know.
He's good, man. He's good in the role that he plays. In the gimmick that he plays, I think he plays it to a T, and I think he's awesome at it. Am I a big fan of the Jersey Shore? I can't stand the Jersey Shore.
I've never seen it.
It's a bunch of Guido, spiked
It's
hair and
kind of racist
greasy.
to say Guido, by the way.
No, they did this whole thing, man. Jersey Shore, they hyped it up when Jersey Shore first debuted.
They said Guidos. I'm telling you.
They said Guidos, and everybody threw a fit, right? And MTV went on with it. Were you offended?
I'm not offended. I'm not offended by anything.
Fucking Guido.
You can call me an Indian Guido. Fucking you can do all that shit to me.
So anyway, maybe it's not the gimmick that I'm a big fan of. But Robbie E's just got charisma out the ass. Now this is my opinion. I mean, think about it, man. If you were to take Robbie E and completely repackage the dude, you don't think that dude's got charisma just by watching him at Bound for Glory or on Impact? He's got all the charisma.
Yeah. It's just being channeled wrong because it's a shit gimmick. I mean, that's what I said. You should make the distinction because you told me sometime during the week you were going to mention this and probably get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I said, well, listen, you should probably make the distinction that you like the character, not the characters. You like the performers playing the characters. Like you like Jesse E and Robbie, whatever ones you like. With Jesse Goddard's Robbie E.
Right.
Yeah, you like them, but bromance, you shouldn't say I like bromance, because that means you're saying you like the fucking bro, all that crap they do, and to me it's just fucking douche chill central.
It's douche chills, but that's the point of the gimmick, man. That's the point of the gimmick, to be douchey, and to be, that means it's working, man.
No, that means he's succeeding at the gimmick they want him to perform. I say the gimmick shouldn't be fucking used, period. Like, what good does that do anybody?
Yeah, but there's gimmicks. I don't know.
It's good if you want a comedy gimmick on your card. Then yeah, there's something you can do that's not funny, but it's supposed to be.
But everybody, it's like, all right, everybody. Let me compare it to something else. Everybody, I go to TMZ all the time, and they cover the Kardashians all the time, and you see all the comments. Oh, the Kardashians are terrible. I can't stand the Kardashians. Why do you continue to cover the Kardashians? And then you look at the ratings for the reality show, and they are through the fucking roof. Same thing with the Jersey Shore, right? Nobody wants to see these guys partying on the Jersey Shore. It's stupid, it's dumb. But you look at the ratings when they come out on TV, through the fucking roof. So as much as people, hate it or can't stand it, people watch. People come in droves and watch. So something that's popular on TV, like the Jersey Shore, a wrestling company is going to try to capitalize off that by having a similar gimmick, hoping that if it was popular and it's drawing this many people on the Jersey Shore, maybe if we do a gimmick here, maybe people will tune in to see that gimmick.
Well, they always say you should try and tap into pop culture.
Right.
Yeah, if something's popular, try and do your version of it, the wrestling version of it. So I understand why they would, like, all right, let's do this because Jersey Shore's popular, but in my opinion, I don't like it. So I'm biased because I think it sucks.
Right, and a lot of people do think it sucks, but there's millions of people that watch this show, the Kardashians and the Jersey Shore, and they're just trying to tap into a little bit of that.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that's like one of the things that it makes me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. It's one of those we talk about sometimes how if you ever have wrestling on and you have friends over,
right,
and you get fucking douche chills when Shawn Michaels is trying to be funny or Kane is trying to be ominous or something. You're like, oh god, I wish I didn't have this on right now. I gotta explain this because they're gonna be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why do you like this?
I know.
And you're like, I don't particularly like this, but I like other stuff. Whatever, forget. It's just one of those where it's like, oh God, why?
I hear you. All right, so the Bromans go on and they win the tag team gauntlet match on the pre-show. So they're gonna go on to face the TNA Tag Team Champions later in the night, right?
Correct.
We kicked off the pay-per-view as Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels against Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero Jr.
This is the gauntlet.
Oh, you're right.
We kicked it off with Ultimate
We need to
X.
go. That's what they hyped up through the pre-show, too. So, Ultimate X. We had Magnus, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries for the X Division title in the Ultimate X match.
What'd you think?
Here's the deal. I came on here. They held an Ultimate X match a couple of months ago, right? And I said to you at that time, the Ultimate X is a cool concept, no doubt, right? With the wires and everything else.
It's different.
But there's not much you can do in an Ultimate X match where these guys get up there on the wires and then all that can happen is somebody pulls them down by their feet, right? There's just not much
off
that
the top
you
of my
can
head,
do.
I'm thinking you could be draping, someone come off the top, do the spear like Edge
They've
did
done
to Jeff
that.
Hardy.
They've done that before.
You could be draping, you could fall off and kind of catch someone with your legs, do a Hurricane Rana.
That's too dangerous. That's too dangerous.
There's a lot of things you could do. You could be draping, you could get a swing going, and then do a fucking backflip on a splash on somebody laying down on the ground. There's stuff you could do.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand what you mean, that you are limited in what you can do, because once you do the spots I just said, you've done everything you can do.
And it's been done before,
but you got that problem with a lot of gimmick matches.
They had some more hardcore stuff in there. Like they brought out a ladder at one point. Jeff Hardy brought out a ladder, and there were a couple of spots with the ladder. But there's just
as a whole. What did you think of the match? Was it good or bad?
It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was kind of right in the middle. I guess good.
I'll say it sucked. Because
it was
a spot fest with no psychology or storytelling.
The X Division is a spot fest.
And I don't like that,
match,
so I can't endorse it. I got to say that as a match, I like to have a story told. I like old school. I'm an old school wrestling fan.
Right.
So that's just look at this flip thing I could do, or look at how much punishment I could take, and it's just boom, 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 as opposed to boom. Oh, what's this guy doing? Why is he doing it? Oh, boom! This guy's about to do something. Here it comes. Boom! You know what I mean? There's no build-up or setup to it. It's just, watch. Here's a Daredevil stun. Here's another one. And the worst thing about this particular one...
Maybe you wouldn't like Ring of Honor, man.
I probably won't.
Because Ring of Honor is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's stuntmen in a ring. Movie stuntmen. But no, the Ultimate X, the finish, was what really sucked.
Yeah.
Throws Velvet Sky in, distracted. He runs up, grabs the belt.
That was terrible.
And that's it.
The finish was brutal.
I thought they were going to do a thing where each Hardy and I think it was Hardy and Sabin. I thought they were going to do a thing where they both pulled the belt down at the same time, and then who has the belt? They could end that two ways. They could fight over the belt, and then whoever ends up with it wins. Or they could do a thing where they both pull it down. And this would piss people off because you kind of get a no finish, but they both pull it down, so, we don't have a champion. These two will compete to see who the real X Division. They could do stuff like that.
Sabin and Manic on the ladder, right? And they both grabbed the title at the same
time.
Hardy
and Sabin. And Manic was coming in the background to do something right at the end,
but
he never did anything.
Well, when they both dropped to the ground, right, and they had the title, I was thinking something was supposed to happen in midair, where Sabin had the title, and in midair, while they were dropping to the ground, Hardy was going to rip away the title or something like that. Yeah. So Sabin had it on the way down, but in the air, before they hit the mat, Hardy was going to grab the title, and it didn't happen. They just fell, and then Sabin had the title, and
maybe
it was
whoa. Yeah, maybe it was fucked up. But
but if it was fucked up, then Sabin still had the X Division title. Unless they do, if they do an X Division title change on Impact this Thursday, then there's a possibility that the finish of the match was fucked up. If Jeff Hardy wins the X Division, if they do Jeff Hardy versus Chris Sabin, which is very possible for Thursday's Impact because of the way they finished at Bound for Glory, and Jeff Hardy wins the title, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fuck up at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, whether it was a fuck up or it wasn't, I just thought that finish was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. You're right. So what else happened? I thought the match itself, though, I thought it was a good match. That's the Ultimate X, though, man. It's a spot fest. It always has been. Well, the whole X Division's been a spot fest.
The problem with spot fest is once you see the spots once or twice, it show's over. You could I'll do it backwards this time, or I'll do it faster. You've seen what they're doing. That's why you need a story in the match, because you can always tell a different story. But if you're just going to do the same spots...
Right.
I've seen this, so I'm not excited by it. It's like, alright, that was pretty impressive and it was cool, but I've seen it 1,200 times in the past already, so who gives a fuck?
You know what else? Throughout the pay-per-view, they aired highlights of AJ Styles, right, throughout the night, like when he first came into TNA and his title wins.
It was pretty nostalgic, because that was the stuff I watched.
But it was to the point where they kept saying over and over, even on commentary, is this AJ Styles' final night in TNA? And then all the video packages about AJ Styles' career. And I'm just thinking to myself, you are giving it away right now that AJ Styles is winning the TNA World Heavyweight title tonight. You're giving it away, man, by saying, oh, this is AJ Styles'. It very well could be AJ's final night. And Dixie is so adamant that he's going tonight. And it was just to the point where, you know, it was like, it was the AJ Styles show. And by the time you got to the main event, although the main event was great, you knew that AJ was winning the title because of everything that had been done.
You might have known that, but that's another pet peeve of mine. See, you're by the end of this show, you're gonna hate me because I'm gonna argue with a lot of this stuff you're saying.
That's good debate. I gotta be honest. Do it.
Who cares if you see it coming if it's a good story? And what they were doing was reminding everybody how much history AJ has with the company. Now the whole storyline build-up was he might be leaving, can they resign, blah, 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 blah. So it's like a feel-good thing. Same thing they're doing with Daniel Bryan to an extent, is they're rallying everybody behind Styles. Remember this, remember this. The thing is they try so hard to go the other way, even if it doesn't make sense. Like, so, like, you're probably going to say they shouldn't have just done that at all. But since they did, he has to win, because if you do all that, and then you fucking switch it around and have Bully Ray win, like, we got you, everybody thought AJ was going to win, and we tricked you.
Yeah.
You tricked him, but you fucked your story up in the process. And
I'm saying I love the video packages of AJ Styles throughout the night, dude. I love that shit. But even on commentary, they just kept trying to sell that this was going to be AJ Styles' final night in TNA. You do it every once in a while, man, but it was like during every single match, this is AJ Styles' final night in TNA. You're just telling us, no, it's not. Because you're saying that it's his final night so much in almost every match that you're just giving it away, man.
Well, I mean, I think the problem there is they play off the internet too much. And I think they think that everybody knows that AJ signed a contract just through Bound for Glory. And then they're trying to tell it, you know what I mean? Like she's
trying to tell the internet, well, now he's TNA World Heavyweight Champion, so he must be staying, or he must have resigned,
or get people wondering. Like either way. But there is a rumor going around
through December, by the way.
Yeah, to get through Bound for Glory. Right. But anyways, and either way, not the point. The point I'm saying, never mind. The rumor though that they're having now is that now that he won the title, they're gonna have him defend it like at indie shows and shit to make it seem like he won their title and left with it.
Really?
That's what I read somewhere.
Really?
I don't know how true it is.
Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, that's another thing where they're playing off the internet. You need to play to just tell a story, and the people watching either enjoy it or they don't. And if they don't, try and go a different way. But don't be like, the internet's expecting this, so let's do that. Or the internet's expecting this, so let's give them. Who cares what the internet thinks? Jesus Christ, it's just criticism. You're gonna have that.
We had James Storm against James Storm and Gunner against Robbie E and Jesse.
I thought this was
Gutierrez.
Good.
This was good, man. And like I said, Robbie E, man, dude's got potential. He's got potential. But they gave him the titles too, man. The Bromance. They got the tag team titles here, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Crowd shit all over that too. Speaking of the crowd, by the way, there were 4,000 people in the building, but what they did is they moved everybody. I think it was a it holds about 7 or 8,000 people. So the entire side of the arena, right? That's why those photos came out online and everybody was like, "Oh my God, the whole arena's empty." When in reality, if you were on the other side, if you were on the empty side of the arena and you took a photo of the other side, the entire bottom half and the top half was completely filled up. So I'm guessing if they set it up, they could have had the entire bottom bowl filled up. And I would have said, do it that way. Fill up the entire bottom bowl and then leave the top bowl tarped off. But instead, they put everybody to one side and filled up the bottom half of the arena, the bottom bowl, and the top bowl. So I think when the camera would pan up, you would see that there's that many people on both the bottom and the top of the arena. Where if it was up to me, I would have filled the entire bottom, because the arena only holds, I think, 7,000 people max, I think, and you had 4,000 in there. So there were only 3,000 empty seats, and they were all on that one side because of the way that TNA did it. So I don't think the attendance, the photos that came out online, made it look brutal. But if you were there on the other side, I think you would have said, all right, you know what, there's a lot of people here, to be honest with you. There were 4,000 people in a 7,000 seat arena. So
if WrestleMania is in a 20,000 seat building, I mean, because this is the WrestleMania.
No, that's the problem.
And
that's
you sell
the problem.
10,000 tickets, you're gonna say, "What's up with WWE, man? They can't even sell out WrestleMania."
That's the problem.
They probably ran the wrong building, if you want to get technical. But how would they know that? I mean, they got to think, well, this is our big show. We should be able to sell 7,000 tickets for one fucking, you know.
That's what it comes down to. This is their WrestleMania.
The tarping, you got to remember, they're gonna be doing Ultimate X and shit like that up high. So the camera's going to go up at point. So they can't just fill the bowl and leave all this shit empty. Now, if you say tarp it off, then it's a lot of tarping to do. And every time you take the camera up, it's just going to look tacky, because you're going to have all these people here.
There's
and then
some people,
space all the way to the top, black space. You know?
There's some people that in the chat room are saying 10 to 15,000 seats. When I went to the arena website,
I don't even know.
When I went to the arena website, they said that it was a 10,000 seat facility. And then when you have wrestling there, because the floor and everything else,
you just pasted the actual numbers in, right?
All right, so it's 12,000 for basketball center stage concert, 12,000 in end stage concerts. So this would be a center stage. So I guess we'll say, well, with the whole stage, I mean,
they got
concerts
some other
bigger.
shit too.
So about 10,000. It could hold about 10,000 with a pro wrestling event, because concert stages are a lot bigger.
Plus they have
than
the
a wrestling
they have
ring,
the ramp, and they have all the shit they have to do for the lighting and stuff, and
right. So we'll say about 10,000.
10, 11,000.
10, 11,000.
And they had what, 4 in there?
They had a little over 4.
That's
like
almost
4,200, 43.
That's almost 2/3 empty
For their biggest show of the year.
Biggest
it's
show
not good.
of the year.
It's not good. But if I was in charge, I would have filled up the entire bottom bowl, or close to it.
Yeah.
Close to it. I mean, you've got the whole Titantron on that one side. Think about that. So you've only got 3/4 of the bottom bowl that you would have to fill, and then leave the top empty. But maybe
it depends. I don't know a lot about arena setting. You know,
yeah.
You don't want too much tarping, because then you're gonna have to have the camera go around when action goes to the floor and they go around the ring, or when they're up on the wires.
People, it looked exactly how it was, but the people that are shooting it are shooting from the full side. I mean, where they were, it was completely filled, no matter where you look. So on the other side,
I get what you're saying. If everybody
I don't think they get what I'm saying.
If everybody sat in their designated seats, it would have looked. It would have looked bad. There's no way around it.
Right.
If the 2/3 of the building's empty, no matter how you sit them, it's gonna look bad. But it wouldn't have looked like the entire fucking building was empty.
That's what it looked like.
That was a lot of dead space, and in the people taking a photo of an empty side because they moved everyone to the one side.
Because everybody was on the other side, so it looked terrible.
So no matter how you spin it, it was bad. But the pictures look worse than what it was. What it could have looked like if everybody sat spaced out.
If everybody sat spaced out, I'm pretty sure that almost all of the bottom bowl would have been filled up, and the entire.
What you would have had was a couple empty rows, a couple seats empty next to people in seats, but it wouldn't have looked that dramatic.
Right. It looked terrible with the photos.
Bad.
It looked brutal. But that's because everybody was on the one side. Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. We'll run this down real quick. We had the Bromance. Bromance. What'd you think of the Kurt Angle stuff, man?
The first real quick, James Storm had that nasty gash on his leg.
He did.
That was disgusting.
That was nasty. What about the Kurt Angle stuff? Here's the deal.
Very interesting.
You know, I mean,
perplexing.
The first thing that came to mind for me was, you've got Kurt Angle. I mean, he's had problems in his personal life, right? And I had thought, you know what? Maybe he honestly doesn't want to accept this Hall of Fame award because he's had problems and everything else. But then they did the dinner beforehand, and then, like you were saying, they're supposed to make it official at the pay-per-view. I think this leads to some sort of angle, because the whole angle leading up to it was Bobby Roode's a Hall of Famer and Kurt Angle's not a Hall of Famer. Maybe Kurt Angle's gonna, they're gonna fight. Maybe there's gonna be a rematch between Angle and Roode with the Hall of Fame plaque or the induction or something.
The winner gets to be in the Hall of Fame
on the line, something, and then Angle wins and eventually goes in, or something like that. You know what I mean? I think it's an angle. It'd be cheesy.
It's definitely an angle. I don't know where they're going with it, but it's not a set up for a winner gets in the Hall of Fame, because that's not how you get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, unless they want to devalue their Hall of Fame and make it a gimmick for their storyline.
What does it mean anyways? But if Angle wins, it doesn't matter anyway, because Angle was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, it would. You're right though. If they did a stipulation with the winner gets into the Hall of Fame, it makes their Hall of Fame.
It means
look
anybody
like
who's inducted doesn't mean
joke.
shit, because they're in a Hall of Fame where you could win if you're a character on their TV and like, let's make it a winner gets Hall of Fame status.
They didn't. He came out and he gave the speech, right? But I guess they make it official. You've got the Hall of Fame dinner the night before, and then at the pay-per-view every year they make it official. So when they were about to make it official, this is what Kurt said, no, I'm not going to do it.
How controversial you want to get tonight?
Controversial?
How controversial you want to get tonight?
Why? Where are you going?
Kurt Angle, and I'm speaking from experience. I looked at the dude's eyes on TV on
He still
Sunday
looks
night.
fucked up.
He looks fucked up.
I agree.
And it's out of line for me to even guess or say that, because
the way he talks too. The way he talks,
I'm telling you, I know from experience what people's eyes look like when you're on something, specifically pills. I'll just say that. But yeah, he looked like he was not good.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to say that.
I don't think he's as clean as he's as.
I mean, his eyes were big, wide, fucking blue eyes, but they were classy as well. They were kind of red and they had that blank fucking stare, and it's just, I don't know, man.
I don't think he's clean. I
won't even say that statement, because if you isolate it, it sounds like, you know what I mean? And we're saying from experience, like, we know he's not clean. I don't know anything. I'm just guessing based on what I could see, and I've had a lot of history with stuff and whatever, but I know what your eyes look like. And
ODB against Gail Kim against Brooke for the TNA Knockouts title. What'd you think here, man? The end of this came, Lady Tappa. Came in at the end. I like the Lady Tappa gimmick here, man. Beast, Amazon. When the music hit, I didn't realize that it was Lady Tappa, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe this is a surprise appearance by Awesome Kong or Karma or something like that. Turned out to be her. And then we had...
we skipped Abyss came back, too.
Oh, Abyss did come back.
So Abyss made his comeback. We don't need to explain how, because we were running out of time.
You knew that on Spike TV, where Eric Young looked in the room and he's like, oh my god, like that. You knew it was Abyss,
Which was kind of fucked up, because they did something very similar to that later. I told you about Bully Ray talking to people you don't see, the same way Eric Young was like reacting to Abyss coming in.
Right.
You see Bully Ray talking and you swear it's Mr. Anderson. And I even thought, because he he referenced 2 or 3 people that I never thought I'd see you again. People thought you never, and I'm like, well, all right, Mr. Anderson, who else? Probably Devon's coming back. I'm like trying to make guesses, and then it was nobody.
Right.
So weird stuff.
So we had there was no title, or
every title changed hands.
Gail Kim.
Every single title that they have changed hands on that show.
Did it?
Every single one of them. X Division, Tag title, Knockout title, World title. Every one of them changed.
Chris Sabin wasn't X Division champ?
No, Manic
was. You're right. All right, so Gail Kim wound up winning the title with Lady Tappa. She came down, interfered.
Awful match.
So it looks like they're gonna be aligned. Right. What'd you think of Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle, man?
This great match. Yeah.
Great match.
Weird finish. Right? Again, great match ruined by a finish.
With the whole neck brace, they put him on the stretcher, and then Angle refused to go out on the stretcher.
Angle Olympic slams, or Angle slams Roode off the top.
Right.
And nothing else happens, and Angle gets pinned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Angle did his own
They both
move.
lay there for a second. Roode gets up and falls on him. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Angle did a move to somebody.
Angle did his own move and got injured.
I understand
and
that he's hurt because he came off the top too, but
right.
wait. How does he lose? That just doesn't make sense in a story.
Didn't make any sense.
No, it didn't. A lot of things on this show didn't make sense.
All right, we got 3 more matches that we got to run down. We're gonna take a quick.
I got to talk about Norv Furnham. There's your teaser.
Yo, that's the man, bro. That was the highlight of the show right there, man. Norv was the man, bro.
I thought it was great.
All right, so we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk Nerve Furnham, and we're gonna finish up Bound for Glory. We're gonna talk Monday Night Raw as well, taking your live phone calls in our numero dos as well. When we come back from the break. 518-712-3070, 518-712-3070. You're listening to WZR TV with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this.
Don't have music again. Oh, I closed it too. You son of
Sit here, we're going to redo it.
Buy me a couple seconds.
We're going to redo it. Alright, get to our live chat room during the break too.
I'm not used to playing music anymore. Sorry.
WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there. Get there tonight. Get in the chat room. Coming back. Finishing up Bound for Glory.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire. Do rapid fire. We're taking your live questions. Go to Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Submit them. We're going to put the little thing up in the break where you guys can submit them. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. You're listening to WZR TV with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this.
Hour 2.
Hour numero dos. Taking your live phone calls. 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070.
We said we're back. He said we're front. You know.
Somebody said we're black.
Oh, because it's close to back. And we're wearing black. And there's black in the back. Jack.
Black in the back?
Yeah. Where can they get those blacks from the back?
Speaking. Let me do my hard sell here. Speaking of these beautiful WZR TV
They are
t-shirts,
good looking shirts.
You won't believe this shit. Hosted by Ryan Clark and Matt Boone. WZROnline.com every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 Eastern Time. If you want one of these bad boys, webmaster at ProWrestlingScoops.com. $20 for you guys in the United States. $25 in the United Kingdom because of the shipping cost. Logo on the front. Webmaster at ProWrestlingScoops.com.
Represent, bitches. Uh-oh. Easy.
Well, I think we should do the show like this.
Yeah?
So anyway, Boone.
Well, I'm thinking that nowhere further was awesome. Oh, what?
Alright. Anyway, we're going to finish up Bound for Glory from this past Sunday night and then get into a little bit of Monday Night Raw from last night. Like I said, man, if you guys want to call, give us a call. It's 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070.
Can you hear me now?
Good. Yeah, give us a call. Talk Monday Night Raw and Bound for Glory from last night. WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there, lots and lots of people. So Bound for Glory. Back to Bound for Glory. EC3, Ethan Carter III, the nephew of Dixie. And Dixie did a backstage segment. Everybody needs the Carters. We need the Carters, right?
They recited something that I guess is like a Carter saying. They say it with me. They're like, everybody needs us. We're the greatest. Right. It's like a little thing that the family has, I guess.
Right. Obviously, you guys know that's Derek Bateman from WWE NXT. They brought him. Formerly Derek Bateman from NXT. So we had this dude, right? Earlier in the night, Dixie said, I found the perfect opponent for you tonight, right? So this dude,
boy, did she ever.
Norv Furnham comes out. This dude is, 90 pounds of pure fucking boom! He's ready, dude. He's ready to take EC3.
You want to see something? I'll show you right now. This is his bicep right here. That's Norv Furnham for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole thing, man. He's got the whole thing going on.
Look at him.
Sorry to show you guys my titties. I'm just trying to point out what his body looked like.
Alright, so this dude, this indie worker comes out, right?
Jason Avalon from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yes, from PWG.
Yeah, PWG.
Right, which is a California indie promotion. California indie promotion. So they brought him in and basically jobbed out to make
Peter Avalon. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Basically jobbed out to make EC3, get him over. Caller, you are live on WZR TV. It's cracking.
This is TJ Mike from Light FM. Light FM. Light FM. Light FM. We're TJ Mike.
That's
We're live
awesome.
on the air. Say hello.
Hi, TJ. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Your buddy tipped us off that you're a big NFL fan. How would you like to go to the Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium?
Well, that would be fantastic. How can I go about doing that?
Just answer one of 3 trivia questions right to win 3 free tickets. Are you ready?
I was born ready, sir. Give me question number 1.
Let's start. Which team won the 10th Super Bowl in 1976? You have 3 seconds.
I don't know. I'm not a big enough football historian. Goodbye. Call us back later. So that was a caller.
Somebody said the Steelers. Well,
That's probably right.
That's probably right. Yeah. But we only had 3 seconds to answer.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not that good at football.
I think we only had 3 seconds.
I'm
that was
stuck
pretty
in the
good.
90s with football.
All right, 518-712-3070.
Give us a call!
Give us a call! 518-712-3070. Call us up. So it was basically to get EC3 over here, right? We had Sting and Magnus. Here's the problem I had. Sting, on Impact, week after week, he looks good, right? He looks okay. There was something, and maybe you guys in the chat room will somebody in the maybe
your type?
No. Maybe you guys in the chat room will agree. Something with Sting was off at Bound for Glory.
He was out of shape.
It seemed like that's not the normal Sting that I'm used to seeing on Impact, man. There was something different at Bound for Glory where it almost seemed like he didn't care. There was something.
Wow.
It wasn't.
Ron G agrees. Completely read his comment. Ron G.
He was off, right? Something was completely different with Sting, where it just seemed like, I don't know, he didn't want to be there on that particular night. It was just...
They say phoning it in. Like, they don't go out there and really try. They just go out there and go through the motions to get it over with, as opposed to get it on.
Right, Sting normally goes out there and works his ass off on Impact and has good matches, man, but something at Bound for Glory, it wasn't the normal Sting that I've been used to, man. And, there's talk that WWE wants Sting. Who knows if Sting's on his way out? You brought up a great point, I think it was yesterday, with Hulk Hogan pretty much gone from TNA unless they work something out. Sting possibly leaving, and we know WWE's interested in him. They're going to save millions and millions of dollars.
That frees up a large chunk of the budget, a lot of the budget.
A lot of money, man. I mean, that's millions of dollars per year. And you know that Hulk Hogan demanded more money from TNA when contract talks, began for him to re-sign, and TNA probably said, "Listen, we don't have money to offer you. I'm sure they probably offered. You know what? They probably offered him the same deal, and Hogan wanted more. Think something like that.
Alcoholic in the chat. He says he can't do the sharpshooter anymore. First of all, it's a Scorpion Deathlock, but yeah, he locks him up, and then I think he leaned back about this much. Ready?
Yeah.
And then you got Taz and Tenay on commentary trying to sell it, like, oh, it puts a lot of pain on your lower back. Blah blah. Look at how he's squeezing down. I'm like, he's barely even pulling his legs up in it. Like, it was pathetic looking.
There was something.
He's wearing a shirt
wrong
the
with
whole match,
Sting,
and they try and explain, oh, it's got the fucking, I forget what it's called, but the British flag basically on it in the form of his face, blah blah blah, because Magnus is English, but or British, but he had to wear.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
But I'm just saying, he had to wear the shirt because he was so out of shape. It was very reminiscent of when Sting and Flair had the final match on Nitro, and they're both like completely horribly out of shape.
Right.
But they needed that match because it was like the two most recognizable. When you think of WCW, you think of Ric Flair and Sting.
Somebody said they wanted me. I'm listening.
To move all your shit out of the way.
To move my red cup out of the way. Is it annoying you?
Yes.
Is it?
If they could see all the crap you got laying right there, my
There's
God.
tons
I thought
of
all
that
that was
right
on camera.
Sorry.
So it's not too bad.
Oh, my bad.
You've got like a small bedroom right there on the
I read it on the Facebook. They said, move the goddamn cup. So, anyway, and then the main event, man. The main event, right? It's TNA's biggest pay-per-view of the year. We saw that spot with Bully Ray where he tears the ring mat off, and then he tears the mats up underneath, right? I mean, it's a cool spot, but once again, we've seen that before,
I hadn't seen
man.
it before.
We've seen that on a pay-per-view before.
And you got to think, Bound for
Recently,
Glory.
too.
Bound for Glory, you would assume if you're them, if you're the company, you think, Well, this is probably a show where a lot of people who don't normally watch TNA will, just like people who don't watch WWE, they'll tune into WrestleMania, see what the weather is like in wrestling these days. Smoke in the eye sucks.
Yeah, it hurts.
3-4 times a show over here, buddy. But anyways, like WWE fans, they always say WrestleMania, they put their best foot forward because they think a lot of non-traditional fans, like casual fans that don't watch regularly, will tune into WrestleMania to see how things are going because this is their best foot forward. So I would think the same thing with Bound for Glory. And me personally, I'm a good example because you say we've seen that before. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
So when he started cutting the ring, I was like, yo, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I've never even thought of somebody doing that. It was unique.
What about AJ's, what do they call it? The spinal cap?
Yeah.
Cap.
I think it's
spinal cap.
That's the chat. I think it's spinal cap.
Is it cap with a C or tap?
Spinal Tap is the movie.
Yeah.
That's the movie that they did where they make fun of rock and roll and shit. It is the Tap.
Okay.
So
Spinal Tap. All right.
So anyway, Spinal Tap, which is like a big fucking somersault flip kind of thing, and he did it through the table, the announcer's table.
That was
to the floor.
Nasty, bro.
It was scary looking.
That top rope, and it looks nasty coming off the top rope.
Well, he did it off the top, but he did it on the floor instead of in the ring.
Right.
You mean? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was
brutal.
That was the sixth spot. But the match overall, I mean, it was a good way to end a very lackluster show. Of course, I thought the crowd that was there, the 4,000 or 4,200 that were there, they were hot all night. It was a decent crowd.
We want Hogan.
Oh my God, that was the best chant of the night.
Chant.
There was probably,
we want Hogan.
I would say there was probably no, we don't.
Thank you.
There was probably I'd say maybe 500 to 1,000 fans that chanted "We want Hogan," and all the rest of them said "No, we don't." That was awesome.
That's what I was trying to tell
that
Ryan because this computer we're using right here for the chat room, the one we're looking at, that's my computer. So that's what I do on work, right?
Yeah.
He set this up for me so I can watch illegal streams for my work. So I watch them off this, I work off that. I can't have the headphones reach from this to that, so I have to listen through the speakers, and I could barely hear the audio.
Right.
It was loud enough that you could hear it, but not loud enough you could pick up faint chants. And all I could hear was, "No, we don't." And I could tell it was a dueling chant, but all I heard was, "No, we don't," that half.
It really wasn't a dueling chant. It was a dueling chant, but you had, you had like 3,000 against 1,000.
Well, I knew somebody was saying something, and the fans were passionately chanting back, "No, we don't." And I couldn't make out what, and he tells me after the show, "Yo, did you see when they were doing 'We Want Hogan, No, we don't'?" I was like, "Oh, that's what they were saying?" That's fucking hilarious, man. It's fun.
That's pretty cool.
It makes me look forward to Ring of Honor for that reason. Because in person, I'm sure that spot fests are awesome because you're right there and you're like, look at that shit. A, and then B, the crowd is so passionate and unfiltered and uncensored that it's probably a cool atmosphere.
We're going to be down there in New York City, man. We're going to Ring of Honor if you guys want to meet up, have a couple beers, you know what I'm saying? Come on down.
Beers on him.
Yeah,
not
fuck
me.
you, man. All right, no steaks. I'll get you some beers, but no steaks.
You're not buying 20 filet mignons again?
Buying steaks this time. That fucking guy.
He can afford it.
All right, so check it out, right? All right, so Monday Night Raw from last night. We're not going to run it. We're going to run down the high points and the low points, right? They kicked it off. I had said to you before, I mean, Triple H is going to come out, right? He's going to open up Raw. He's going to be pissed off about what happened
all week.
Right, and he's going to be pissed off about what happened the previous week with Big Show and
they
Cody
didn't address
Rhodes.
the name thing. Remember how they said he stripped Big Show of the Big Show name and he's just Paul White now? Unless I missed it. I don't think they referenced
When did they say that? Last week?
He said it in that interview with Michael Cole that he does on WWE.com.
Did he say that?
Yeah. I
made
an article about it and stuff. But yeah, so that was promised for Raw, and the other thing was he was going to address the Rhodes family stealing the tag titles.
Really?
Which he kind of touched on, but yeah, it was more...
It was more about the Big Show. It was all Big Show.
When they come out smiling, you're like, oh, fuck, here we go. You want to see them come out angry because you're like, all right, cool, this is going to be like an intense, cool promo. When they come out smiling, like, oh, here we go with more fucking bullshit.
And kissing and everything else. Dude.
I like that a little bit because she goes to kiss him the second time. And
the second time, he turned away. And Stephanie
so here's the stuff like that. She goes like this. She's going for the first one, and then the second one, she goes back and she goes... and like turns it into a smile.
She did, dude. She got blown off, man.
She did a good job playing it off.
She did. She definitely did, man.
Get some points for that. I didn't like her hair last night, by the way.
I didn't like Dixie Carter's hair on at Bound for Glory.
Shit.
Oh yeah, I hated that, man. She's a good-looking chick. Dixie Carter is a MILF.
I think she's overrated.
Yo, Dixie Carter is a MILF. Are you serious?
Well, how old
bro?
is she? Is she like 50-something?
She's like definitely upper 40-something, probably in the 50s.
If she's in 50s, she's a good-looking chick. And I could tell in her day she was probably a good-looking chick.
Bro, Dixie Carter is a hottie, bro. Are you serious? What about you in the chat? Really? In the chat room? I'm saying, Colt 2 in the chat room, right? She tweeted me.
She talked to me. Hey, everybody. Dixie Carter, talk to me. Me.
Yo. I'm never going to live that shit down, man. Everybody
that's my version of the freestyle right there.
Everybody says no, Dixie's not a MILF. I guarantee you. I guarantee. Man, you guys were in front of Dixie
asking me
Carter.
what I guess I would?
A couple of beers in you.
Of course I would.
Dixie Carter.
Listen, that doesn't mean she's a hot chick. There's a lot of fucking skanky, fucking semi-right on the border, good-looking chicks that if I'm fucking, I'll bang you. Shit.
She's
I need to get that anyway.
Where's our boy Jay Sutherland? Would you hit that, Jay? Would you hit that,
Jay? He's
Jay?
got a decent little piece of that.
Actually, he's not into the. He's into the 15-year-olds, bro. Fuck them 40-year-olds. He's saying 40, 50. What the fuck's wrong with you, bro? I'm going for the 15-year-olds.
Nah, you gotta remember when you're that age, banging older chicks is like a cool fucking.
That's
thing.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
I think Dixie Carter's a hottie.
I can see she got a decent face, but her body's her face.
Are you serious, bro? Did you see her titties at Bound for Glory?
Not really. No.
She looked good at Bound, except for the haircut. She looked good.
She's alright.
She looked good.
She's alright.
Anyway,
Stephanie and Triple H are in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Titties. Titties.
Stephanie's got some nice tits, even though they're fake.
Makeup. A lot of makeup on Stephanie McMahon, bro. A lot of makeup on Stephanie
this
McMahon.
This guy and his fucking makeup bullshit. Who cares?
Alright, so what happened, man?
So what happened? What, you mean
opening promo of Raw. They come out, right?
Drunk. I barely remember.
they come out, bro, and they're pissed off, right? They keep guaranteeing throughout the show, right? They're guaranteeing if you order Hell in a Cell, you are guaranteed to get a new champion. And I feel like they're doing that because the last pay-per-view they screwed everybody, and the pay-per-view before that pretty much screwed everybody, right? Well, they had the title change 2 pay-per-views ago, and then the next night on Raw they stripped them of the title, and then at the last pay-per-view they didn't give us a finish, you know what I mean? So, caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Alright, my boys are done dancing. We can't dance. What's up?
Alright, so anyway, they're guaranteeing people a new champion at Hell in a Cell. If you order this pay-per-view, you're going to get a new champion. They stressed it in the main event, the contract signing too.
How come every time people dance, they make faces like this? They go...
Did I make a face like that?
No, but most people probably do. When they start dancing, they always make a face like...
What'd you do? What'd you do during that? Let me see your dance. I just did something like this.
Yeah, let's do it with the hands, or they're snapping. Or
I can dance.
Can you dance? Let's see a little dancing. Go ahead.
No, I can't dance.
Whoa. I can't. He got it. How many beers you had?
Dance.
Dance. I'm not doing it.
Get up and dance.
I've done enough douchey things today. I've whipped my titties out. We're live on the radio with this caller. I've freestyle. Come on. Hip hop, hibbity, hip hip. I've done my share.
We need a Ryan Clark and Matt Boone dance off.
maybe another time.
Boone's gonna twerk. Clark and Boone gonna twerk. All right. So, anyways, they're guaranteeing us Hell in a Cell. They're guaranteeing a new
I know Big
WWE
Show popped
champion.
up on the Titantron, and
Big Show hijacks.
Yeah, so Stephanie immediately goes out of the ring, and I kept yelling. I was still in here at that point, and I'm like, they're going to cut him off, because I knew that's what she was running around yelling at the production people, like, oh, how did he get up there, get him off? I knew that's what the idea was.
And you know what that's leading to, right?
Vince.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that, too, on the feed. I'm like, this is obviously leading to Vince's return, like, because they even referenced at one point, they flat out said, Big Show still has, I think the announcer said, Big Show still has friends in WWE.
In high places.
Because, how is he getting on the screen? Who helped him on, so obviously
Vince McMahon, for those unaware, Vince McMahon's coming back as a babyface. He's going to be the one behind Big Show being, popping up on the Titantron, hijacking the Raw feed, and it's going to be Vince against, Stephanie and Triple H. Like, I can see Vince coming back. What do you think you're doing, man? Every week, you're pissed. Sorry, man. You like that ringtone?
No. You're probably killing people's eardrums. When I listen back, that kind of shit's very loud.
Want to dance?
That was my guitar. He always dances like this. That's the Ryan Clark dance, ain't it?
I don't know what.
When he hears a song he likes on the radio, he'll start going, "Oh yeah."
I think that's a badass ringtone, man. I thought it was pretty badass. No. All right, so Vince is coming back. It's gonna be a baby face, but I can picture Vince coming back and basically saying,
strutting.
What the fuck are you doing? Every week you're pissing everybody off. Everybody's defying the authority now.
Strut.
Let me see.
Can't really do it sitting down, but
we had Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan. That was our first match of the night. Pretty good while it lasted.
It was. You knew it would be, but when we did like a whole history search on Ambrose and John Moxley and all that crap. But I think Ambrose got hurt in that match. They said
Ambrose and CM Punk were injured on Raw last night. Doesn't look that serious. We don't know about CM Punk.
They said Ambrose was limping after the match.
Same with CM Punk backstage.
Was it a leg?
Backstage, people said that CM Punk looked injured, but there's no real update.
Well, with Ambrose, we knew specifically he was limping, so something happened to one of his legs, you would assume, or feet.
I keep lighting cigarettes, right? I light cigarettes.
I see that. You got like 8 of them hanging out of the
ashtray. See this? There's like cigarettes here that I'm not finishing because I'm trying to quit. So I smoke like a half a cigarette and then I put it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if it looks like I'm smoking, chain smoking, I put them half out and then I light them back up.
I don't think anybody cares.
So the CM Punk promo, right? I didn't think CM Punk was off his game, man. I understand why he was out there to hype Hell in the Cell, right? We're all going to be in the cell.
It was the final hard sell, like Don West. He was coming out and giving everybody, here's why you should watch Hell in the Cell Sunday. Here's my final reason to convince you to buy it.
Right, but it was just, there was something, I don't know.
It wasn't as good as most CM Punk promos. It was very basic.
Right. Very basic.
Yeah. Rudimentary.
What did you think of Stephanie backstage? They hired Vicky Guerrero for the night, right? Vicky's going to come in because Brad Maddox is
fat.
The concussion thing. Brad Maddox on Twitter,
tight dress, too fat.
The neighbor? Who are you talking?
Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, Vicky.
That dress, she had no business wearing that dress.
I thought you were talking about the neighbor.
Yeah. But she's fat too.
She is?
Fat as hell.
White trash.
I'll buy it.
White trash?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had Vicky's in for the night, right? Then we have Shawn Michaels, right? Shawn Michaels pops up, and I say it.
He does stuff like that.
Time and time again, Shawn Michaels.
He's like a kid with too much sugar.
He's got the
Get
John
it up, man.
Cena.
That was a good description. He's like a kid on too much sugar.
Yeah, good.
He's like a hyper annoying kid.
You want a fucking cookie, bro? What do you want? You want a pound?
No.
Can I get this? Good joke.
Thank you.
Good one.
That was a good joke analogy.
I like that. Good analogy.
It's funny.
But speaking of funny, Shawn Michaels is far from it here, bro. He was bad.
Like I said, it worked when he did it with DX, and it was the same shit then. The only difference was we were younger, and it was cool at the time. Like, oh, look, he's pulling his pants down.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, you're 50 years old. Put a belt on, man. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It was trying to be the funny Shawn Michaels. And thank God. I mean, during the main event, I'll give credit where credit's due.
Well, that's
he was a lot more serious.
That's the one point I tried to make, is he was going on a fucking rant about how cheesy and corny Shawn Michaels is, which we all know. And I said the only thing good about that is when he flips on and he starts to be serious, Shawn. Same as Cena.
Right.
Cena's a dickhead when he's trying to be funny. It's annoying. It's douchey. Shut up. Stop it. You're phony right now. It's see-through. It's transparent that you're a phony.
But when he
changes modes and he's serious, I think it has much more effect, his seriousness, because he's such a cornball.
Right.
That like when he switches gears and like, oh shit, he ain't playing now. It's more effective that way,
in
my opinion.
I agree.
I think Shawn has that
too. You're completely right.
Yeah, well, I'm always completely right. But yeah.
Not always, bro.
100% of the time.
Not always. You did win $2 from me earlier, though.
I won $1 from you on Saturday, too.
Man. I hate that shit, man. I hate when I'm wrong. Like, I can be wrong to anybody else, and I don't really have a problem with it, but this fucking guy irks me. Anyway,
hold on, let me check real quick. Oh, I was trying to find the part of me that gives a shit.
Jeez. All right. So what? Back to Raw. So and listen, Shawn got serious during the contract signing, right?
Yeah.
So and that's the Shawn Michaels that I liked, man.
For a second, he got serious backstage when he was asking Triple H, like, "What happened to you, man? Like, we used to do that stuff too, and we had fun, like." And then he got crazy. Now I'm gonna go have some fun. And then he fucking marched off.
We had let's see. We had the Elvises, right? We had Santino out there. They're in Memphis, home of Elvis. Blah 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 blah.
I just wanna be your teddy bear. I don't even know the word. I put my son around your head.
So This is all to get Jerry
let
Lawler.
it be.
This is all to get Jerry Lawler over.
I don't want to be a tiger.
Let me give you the floor.
Tigers are too rough. I don't know the words.
Keep going.
I'm trying to hum through it.
Oh,
I just
that's what Santino was doing on the commentary desk. Kept going, or whatever.
Yeah, he was doing something like that. He was wearing the blue suede shoes too, and they started playing blue suede shoes.
Yeah, they had Jerry Lawler up on commentary, and he did this little Elvis dance or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, all right. We had let's see. So whatever, that was comedy. We had Dolph Ziggler.
So that was comedy.
Dolph Ziggler appears on Raw, and his opponent's Randy Orton. Man, it was a good match while it lasted. Dolph Ziggler got in some offense, which was good. He was jobbed out again though.
Who did he?
Ziggler.
Orton.
Randy Orton. This was at the break too. It was at 9 o'clock? I think it was 10 o'clock.
9 to 10, I don't know. Yeah, it was right at 9 o'clock. Because you said, "Here we go, something big's coming," and then they show Orton walking to the ring. You're like, "I guess not." I'm like, "Oh, I guess you don't think Orton's a big deal."
We'll skip the Divas match. What else happened here? There was a Paul Heyman was great last night.
That was awesome.
When he really got into it and was screaming, and then you even called it, man. It was and then he calmed down. He was just like, but you know what?
He was saying CM Punk's the idea was CM Punk's very emotional. And he's very calculated. He being Paul Heyman. So he illustrated that through his words, which he's a fucking genius at. And
he's good. He is a genius, bro.
He's the highlight of the show every week, in my opinion.
Every week, CM Punk, Paul Heyman, highlight of Raw every
without
week.
a doubt. Which is like when they finally break this angle up. It could be good or bad. It could be good because now you have two different things to look forward to, as opposed to one main thing to look forward to, because they're in the same kind of.
No, let me try to word this correctly, right?
How much leg room do you need, dude? Look at your legs right there.
Well, you're sitting there. What do you want? You want a leg over here?
I can't put a leg over there.
Well,
you're fucking sitting
stick a fucking leg over here. Come on.
Jesus, I got leg over. To breathe too.
Bring a leg over, bro.
I'm in sweatpants.
Bring a leg over.
Fucking nuts are
Give you some leg room.
All right.
So listen.
All right.
So Daniel Bryan. Let me ask the people in the chat, okay? And listen. Boone thinks that Daniel Bryan's over. Okay, I want to get that right out of the way first. Boone thinks
by saying that, yeah.
Boone thinks that Daniel Bryan is over, and I think Daniel Bryan is over. Do you guys in the chat room think Daniel Bryan? Of course, everybody thinks that Daniel Bryan is over.
Yeah,
Here's the problem. Boone thinks that I think Daniel Bryan, even if all the fans love doing the yes thing, right? We know that.
I can say it in one sentence, and then you can go on your big rant. I think the yes thing is more over than Daniel Bryan is. I think I
agree with that.
It's a false indication of how over he is, because you see that and you're like, that motherfucker's money. And it's like, wait a minute, Now Big Show was out in the crowd. Big Show last week was out in the crowd doing it, and the whole fucking arena was doing it with him. It had nothing to do with Daniel Bryan.
You made it seem like Daniel Bryan was over.
Not in a way that helps business, though.
Not in a way that helps business, but I think
he will
Daniel
pop any
Bryan,
crowd with that shit. But
he'll pop any crowd with that shit. But let's say that, and it'll never. I think it's gonna be like the what stuff. It's never gonna stop.
I don't think it translates to people saying I gotta watch this show.
I think
say yes. I gotta buy a ticket to the show. And that maybe, but
I think if the Daniel Bryan, if the crowd were to stop doing the yes thing, right? Just tomorrow, out of nowhere, the crowd stops doing it. Not going to happen, obviously. But I think Daniel Bryan would still come out and would still be a megastar. Not a megastar, but he's a star.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Doing part with the yes thing.
No, I agree. I say he's over. He's definitely over. But he's not over in a way that's helping business, which is what it's all about. I don't think that yes shit translates to pay-per-view sales. I don't think it translates to ratings. 2.71 this week. I don't think it translates to ticket sales.
I don't think he's there yet. I think
they're ruining it. We'll get into it later.
Do you think the yes thing is ruining?
No. I was leading up to what I'm about to say, which is Triple H's promo. I think they're ruining Daniel Bryan's potential to get over.
You know what? Let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it.
And I was saying it before all the feedback the next day today.
You're right.
I was saying it last night as he was saying it. That's why you got to listen on Mondays. I'm telling you, as Triple H is saying the words, I said, can you fucking believe that? He's burying him in a way where you're not like, oh, I can't wait to see Daniel Bryan finally stick it up Triple H's ass. You're burying him in a way where even if he wins, He's still just a little jerk off. Let's be
honest,
Triple H. We know what's going on here.
Triple H buried the shit out of him last night.
Bad.
And there was a lot of negative reaction.
In an egotistical way.
We put the article up on the website that there was a lot of negative.
My favorite
reaction
response
to that.
was Jericho's.
Jericho was awesome.
And he tagged Triple H too, so he said it right to him. And
right to his face,
right?
I'm done with WWE. I don't need this shit.
He said, by the way, if we're being honest, this is paraphrasing. If we're being honest, you weren't over either. You weren't the face of the company at any point. Despite your mega push.
Let me lead that into this. Sean said that to Triple H in the backstage segment earlier in the night, where, dude, you were never over back in the day, or you never saw money.
They said that about me too, and he said, to be honest, they said that about you.
Yeah, right?
Saying
because
that, the size.
They were referencing Daniel Bryan. Sean said, "You don't see money in this guy. Why don't you see money in this guy?" And then like you said, Sean said they said that about me, and to be honest, they said that about you. But Triple H completely buried Daniel Bryan in the main. I'll give you that, dude. It was clear as day, right? And there was a lot of negative reaction to that backstage. But to Sean's credit, and this is where Sean got serious last night during the promo, Sean was the one to come and defend Daniel Bryan, and he should have, because of the history between Daniel Bryan and Shawn Michaels.
Air a great video,
but Sean,
by the way.
Yeah, we put it up on the website today.
Yeah,
I put it up on
cool.
WZROnline.com. But Sean came to his defense. So it almost seemed like, although Triple H was burying Daniel Bryan, Sean kind of saved it.
I didn't know.
Sean kind of saved it.
Here's where I disagree with that. I said, this was the line I said last night. I said, it's almost like Daniel Bryan's at the big kids table, and he's lucky to be there because everybody's talking and he's just kind of there.
Right.
So when Triple H is burying him, does Daniel Bryan stand up for himself like a man? Shawn Michaels has to come to his defense.
No, but Daniel Bryan.
Let's let a star explain why Daniel Bryan's the real.
Daniel Bryan can't.
Let Daniel Bryan prove it himself. But don't have Shawn Michaels come to his rescue.
But Bryan had this smirk on his face, like, yeah, all right. And I understand. But he had the smirk on his face, and then Shawn kind of came to the rescue. So although Triple H buried him, I mean, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are. Would you put them in the same league as far as main event stars are concerned, right? So to have Triple H bury Daniel Bryan, and then to have Shawn in the same league as Triple H defend Daniel Bryan and say, wait a minute, I think it kind of equals itself out. Where you've got Triple H who's burying him, but you've got Shawn that's defending him. Granted, Daniel Bryan should be defending himself and saying, well, wait a minute, but I think it evened itself. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I still think that it's a situation where
there was no need to bury him.
The match is Orton and Bryan, and that segment was Triple H explaining why Orton's the shit, and Shawn saying why Daniel Bryan could be the shit.
Right.
It's almost like, Triple H and Shawn need to be the focal point because these two fucking guys, you know what I mean? It's like they're not good enough yet.
And then wait a minute, the end of the segment.
Let's have two stars make this.
Raw goes off the air, right? You're doing a contract signing out there, and then Raw goes off the air, and the entire focus of a contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton turns into the Triple H and Big Show show.
That's what. And that was the other thing.
And it's like, wait a minute. And not only that, but did Daniel Bryan or Randy Orton ever sign the contract?
I know Orton did, because I watched him flip through the pages and do all that shit.
All right. I didn't see that. Was that before the promo?
It was before the Triple H and Shawn stuff that we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The thing that was Big Show that scared me, though, when he came out in that fucking big rig, which I knew was the gig. The gimmick
it was
there.
Big Show and a big rig.
I said it as soon as I saw it. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the thing that scares me is that's almost like a tease that Big Show is going to help Daniel Bryan win at Hell in a Cell, which makes me, it's like, oh God, they're not even.
And then that's going to piss Triple H off. Then you're going to have Triple H and Big Show at Survivor Series. You're going to have a rematch probably between.
But what it does is it makes it look like Triple H and Big Show is here, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton's here. So these two guys are more important than the title and these two guys. So these two guys are under these two guys. This program has real stars, so this program, even though they're supposed to be stars and the title's involved, is still not as good as Big Show Triple H. And worse than anything, this entire thing was supposed to be done in a way to get the fans to rally behind Daniel Bryan. That was the explanation. Like, wait until you let it play out before you make judgment that they're burying Daniel Bryan. No, they're going to get everybody behind him, and then he finally wins the big one, and you're like, finally he did it. But if he does it because Big Show helped him, he still isn't doing anything. Big Show is the guy they're getting him over at the expense of Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton to an extent. But it just makes that program look weaker than this program. And then you go on to Survivor Series where you have Daniel Bryan as champion, assuming he wins with his first defense. It should be huge. It should be what we've been building.
Should be the main event.
It should be the main event. It should be what we've been building up to this whole time. You could even do Cena now that he's back with Daniel Bryan, and like, all right, we've been talking about the face of WWE this whole time. The face is back, but this is the guy that was the face while he's gone. Let's see who the real guy. But that's still less important than Triple H and Big Show, because Big Show did it for Daniel Bryan basically. And Triple H is fucking dwarfing anybody on that TV these days.
The reason for it's politics, man. It's politics, and Triple H has always been known to do that, man. He's always been known to bury people that he fears are going to get bigger than him as a threat. As a threat.
You just summed up everything in one sentence. He does not want
anybody to be bigger. He does not want anyone to be bigger, and he sees the crowd reactions and everything else, how the Daniel Bryan gimmick is taken off. He sees it. He considers it a threat, like Boone said, and he's going to take that threat and smash it. Just like that.
Not so much smash it. Let me get myself over it, and then all right, let me get involved in this, which is a hot angle. Yeah. Put myself above it. We'll still build this up, but let me make sure that it's not above me. Let me make sure I'm over it this whole time. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Yep. But hold on, I'm ahead. I'm still ahead.
And that's what it was last night.
I'm doing all this gesturing.
No. That's what it was. That's what it was last night, man. You had the contract signing, which was the focal point. But how did Raw go off the air? With Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton here, and Triple H and Big Show up here.
What are we talking about right now? After the contract signing, 3 matches now. Will be the third of Hell in a Cell. 3 matches now. Big final angle. What are we talking about? Triple H, Big Show, Shawn. We haven't even mentioned.
Not even talking. Yeah, we haven't.
And Daniel Bryan, we're only mentioning because the poor son of a bitch is made to look like a pussy who needs somebody to fight his battles for him. And I think the perfect explanation is he was sitting at the grown-ups table. And it was almost like, well, here's this kid at the grown-ups table. You know what I mean?
Hacky joke of the day. What? Oh, I missed it.
I can read it for you.
Go ahead. What is it?
It's pretty gross.
All right.
Well, I did one phrase.
Why do 2 men have 2 heads?
No. Why do men have 2 heads and women have 2 sets of lips?
Why do men have 2 heads and women have 2 sets of lips?
Because men do all the thinking, women do all the talking.
It's cheesy, but yeah, it's good. Alright, we gotta do rapid fire, man. We got about 15 minutes. If you guys want to call up live, it's 518-712-3070.
Oh, she's so hot. Look at her.
518-712-3070. We'll get that in a minute.
It's Dixie Carter, by the way.
Alright, call us, man. Call us.
Don't beg for callers. Just plug the call number, and if they call, they call. If they don't, I don't want to talk to them anyway.
I want to talk to the people.
I kind of would like to talk to some people.
I want to talk to the people, man.
Pick up the phones, guys.
Pick up the telephone.
We dial in 518.
We don't bite.
712-3070. I even did that perfect.
We're not gonna laugh at you. You know what I mean? If
we just play along with a radio guy. Come on.
You know, pick up the goddamn phone and call.
Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
You know what? If Tenzai had long blonde hair like Edge and Jericho, I would never even suggest him being the face of WWE. But he doesn't. So here's what I think needs to go down. You set up Ryback versus Sweet Tea. All of a sudden, Prince Albert beats the living shit out of them, covers the ring in blood. We got blood everywhere, Carlos style. Next thing you know, we got WrestleMania 30, Sweet Tea versus John Cena. If Cena loses, he gets his lip pierced, and then him and CM Punk start a tag team and take on the Usos. I just solved everything.
Sweet tea for the win, baby! Sweet tea for the win!
Against the Usos, too, is what we're building up to, supposedly. That's money. That's
at WrestleMania, Sweet tea and the Usos.
I'll give him props. That's a creative way to prank someone. Like, you get him sucked in, which immediately I knew where he was going, I'll be honest. I remember that. But it's just cute. It's like, alright, let me pretend like I'm really fucking passionate about fucking Tenzai, when the joke is, let me pick the fucking biggest piece. Whatever.
It's stupid. Alright, pick up the goddamn phone and call. Come on, man. There's no excuse for this, that you're not picking up the phone. Everybody's got free long distance these days, so Skype. Pick up the phone or Skype. Pick up the phone and call. We don't bite. We put ourselves on TV for you guys every Tuesday night. So we don't bite. You know what I mean, dude? Alright, you guys like when phone calls come in, right? Well, you gotta be part of it. You gotta, if you want phone calls, you gotta... Jay Mullen, TNA Bound for Glory sucked ass. It was a clusterfuck in my opinion. I enjoyed Raw last night, and what an awesome UFC on Saturday night. Who do you think will headline next year's WWE Hall of Fame? Thanks for taking the question. Love the show. Jay Mullen, we love you. UFC from Saturday night. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on UFC.
Well, I mean, we covered everything like that's worth talking about. Unless we want to do a whole MMA show, it is hard to really talk about UFC without going off on a lot of tangents.
Let's talk about the 3 main events. Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez.
That's what I said. People are calling it. They're calling it the best fight ever. It's not, but it's definitely one of the best fights in a long time, and probably the fight of the year.
All right.
And we'll continue this in a second because we've got a caller. Caller, what's going on? What's on your mind, man?
Mickey!
What did he say?
He either said Mickey or something bad. I don't know. I couldn't quite make it out.
Mickey?
Mickey, like Mickey James. But I don't know. He could have said something worse.
Beefy. Alright,
I'm fascinated with the fight.
Alright, so UFC, right? So Diego Sanchez, Gilbert Melendez, it was great, man. It was one of the best UFC fights ever, you said?
It was up there. It's worth mentioning when you're talking about the best fights ever. But like I said, there's Brian Stan Vanderlei Silva this year, there's Jones Gustafsson, whatever. This is the fucking Tenzai guy again. Should we take him? Okay. And then there was Roy Nelson, Big Country, and Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier's final fight at heavyweight. He said, no matter win or lose, I'm going to 205.
I think
the Melendez-Sanchez fight, what happened there was it was basically an ass kicking. Gilbert was beating the shit out of Diego for most of that fight. There was some cool exchanges, but then in the third round, Diego dropped Melendez, which was really what made it a great fight, because up until that point, it was just a one-sided shellacking. But when you get that kind of thing,
shellacking.
I thought that was going to be a good
cool word.
Said it. But yeah, when he dropped him, it was like, oh, now all of a sudden there's a cool story here. Like this guy just fucking almost had his moment, you know. So it made it not just a one-sided beatdown.
But with the main event was
with
awesome.
Cormier and Nelson, real quick. Cormier wants to go to 205, and what they're talking about, no matter what, Jones and Glover Teixeira is next. They're not doing an immediate rematch of John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson, which scares a lot of people because that means Gustafsson has to beat whoever they put him against in order for that rematch to happen, and Jones has to beat Teixeira, I should say. I just think that's a foregone conclusion. But Gustafsson, I think, just had a great night. We'll see. But they're really flirting with screwing this rematch up. You tell me to go on a 5-minute rant. You told me to.
That's good.
And I tried to ignore it, and then when you kept going back to us, I'm like, all right, you must want me to go on the rant. Second I ran, look what we get.
No, it's good though. It's good, man. You're right.
Let's take it serious now.
Fuck you, motherfucker. All right. The whole thing is because we talked about it the other night, right?
Well,
if one of them loses, it fucks up the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, we got a caller now, so we can't really get going again. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on with you guys?
What's up,
I just wanted to get your comments on. Did you hear about Dave Marquez and the other wrestling organizations coming up with the United Wrestling Academy?
I have not.
About 5 or 6 wrestling organizations going around taking territories again.
Huh? So they're trying to get the territory thing.
There were the last we put a press release up yesterday where 2 wrestling promotions. What do you say? 5 or 6. Now?
Yeah.
Alright, well there were 2 companies yesterday that teamed up, sent out a press release, and we're going to try to get some territories going. Why you got a big
I'm looking at your
smirk
chat.
on your
I'm just reading some comments. Go ahead.
And there were 2 indie promotions that were going to team up and try to get the territories going again, which would be an interesting concept, but would it work in these days? You know? Would it work in these days? You're an asshole, man.
I don't know. Would it work? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. No, I'm serious. Go ahead.
Oh, no!
You motherfucker, dude.
Oh, no.
That's my computer you're breaking. You better get that shit, dude. I'll just inform everybody, because that's off camera. He just spilled beer all over my computer. Let me move this really quick, guys. Holy shit, that's everywhere. I might soon. I'm trying to kill time for you, but this is bad because that's everywhere.
I'm not even going to talk.
It's all over my wires and everything. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I'll do some rapid fire while you clean up. Go ahead. This fucking guy. Everything's big joke, huh? Let me go fucking throw beer all over your computer. See if we're laughing.
I threw my phone up, dude, and it accidentally hit the.
You know the worst part about this?
I threw my phone up. It accidentally hit the beer thing. You know what I'm saying?
There's two bad things going on here. A, you just wasted a shitload of beer. That's first and foremost on my mind.
Cup too.
B, now we gotta wash this fucking sheet because I'm not putting this back up with
No, we definitely have to wash
beer
it.
stench everywhere. But
that's what happens. And you should see the text that I just got, which made me throw it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Talk about it.
I thought you were throwing it because I can already guess what it's about. But
you heard it beep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were throwing it because I was busting you out.
What do you see this text?
Your phone's off too. Did you screw your phone up?
It shut off when I threw it.
This fucking guy. We got 7 minutes left, and this is how we're gonna end it.
Where do you see the text message that made me do that? And of course, it's gotta hit. It's gotta hit. It can't go any other place, right? When you throw a phone.
That's why you shouldn't have 20 things right there. That's
what did it.
You need a little side table.
I do right here, like you got, man. I got everything on the table here, and that's what fucked it up. Anyways,
I'll do some rapid. Well, here's no. This is the 10 second. You fucker, quit calling, man. Anyways, Hall of Fame next year, Jay Mullen asks. I'm thinking maybe Ultimate Warrior. Who knows? We'll see. Nick Dodge is next. He says, do you think Big Show is going to ruin the main event Hell in a Cell by ripping the cage door off and entering it and KOing Orton? That's what we were just talking about, how that's a decent possibility that they're building up for Big Show to be the guy that gets all the shine. In the end, there's another couple of texts right there.
I'm gonna fucking lose it here, bro.
I'm trying to salvage a very bad situation.
I know.
You're not helping. But Mac McCaud, or Michaud, I don't know how to say that. Question sent in for Christopher Brown. Any more news on the possible expansion of SmackDown to 3 hours? I have not heard about that.
SmackDown to 3 hours? Yeah. I have not heard about it either.
Well, we'll look into that and we'll get back to you. My question, another one from Mac. Gilbert Melendez is campaigning for a title shot. Do you think he deserves it? Yes. He had the fight against the champion in his last fight, Benson Henderson, last fight prior to Saturday, and a lot of people think he won it. And prior to that fight, he was in Strikeforce. He was their champion. He only lost twice, with the third being to Benson, which people, like I said, didn't think he lost. So, and the fact that the guys that are fighting for the title is Anthony Pettis and Josh Thompson. Melendez has had 3 fights with Thompson already, winning 2 of them, and it's considered one of the better trilogies in MMA. So if Thompson wins, you got the ready-made Melendez-Thompson 4. If Pettis wins, you got a top contender against the established champion. So you gotta
look at the mess over there. It's bad.
Just forget it for 5 minutes.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Brandon Scott Brown, do you think Shawn Michaels will turn heel Sunday and side with Triple H and Orton in non-wrestling question? What brand of cigs do you guys smoke? Right now, we have West, which I think are
generic Newports, generic Marbreds.
Right, pretty much. Shawn Michaels.
He likes 100.
Shawn Michaels.
Just ignore it. You should have turned the sound off the first time you got a call.
Shawn Michaels' heel turn. No, you know what? I think Daniel Bryan wins clean this Sunday.
That's what they should do. But let me submit this. They have put a lot of focus on A, guaranteeing a new champion, like you keep saying, but B, a lot of focus on Shawn Michaels promising. I'm going to call it right down the middle.
Right? That's true.
Could they be swerving everybody?
They could. You're right.
You never know.
You're right.
What's best for business? Him and Triple H are friends, but he's acting like that's not going to impact his decision, and he's putting over that he's got this history with Bryan too. Could all be a big setup for a swerve. You never know. Our main man.
A good point you bring up, man. I didn't think about a Shawn
Michaels. Scott Brown with one of the rapid fires of the night. Jay Sutherland, the little 15-year-old that bangs a hot chick in her ass on a regular basis. He says, first, can you give a shout out to my girl? Now I feel bad. Can you give a shout out to my girlfriend? Her name is Shannon. Now I feel like an asshole. Shannon.
Sup, Shannon?
You're a very lovely lady. What was that?
Sup, Shannon?
Like as in,
no. What's up, Shannon?
Poor girl. Second, as of late, I have been staying over at my girlfriend's house, and she is getting mad at me as of late because she wants me to sleep with her, and I don't know if I should do that. Is it okay we can sleep together? Or should we wait a few more years as we are... There are girls in my school... That doesn't continue. It says, as we are, and then there are girls... Oh, as we are 15, okay. I thought you already banged her. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? If you already banged her, well, maybe the parents.
Together. Oh, because of the parents. You got to be careful on that one, because, yeah, they'll say you're not allowed to see him anymore, and you don't want that. Because then she's got to, like, defy her parents, and that starts a whole
How much beer's left?
How have you not muted that yet? Can I ask you that question? How many texts do you need to come through before you say, oh, let me turn the mute on real quick?
It's muted.
Jesus Christ.
It's muted. Well, there's texts coming in all day. You know that.
Jay Solomon, there are girls in my school team that have been coming up to me as of late saying I am cute and stuff. I am thinking of breaking up with my girl. You want us to say hi to Shannon.
You fucking pimp, bro.
He wants us to say hi to his girlfriend, so apparently she's going to watch or will have seen this. But then...
But then,
in the next breath, he says, should I dump her and hit on these other hot chicks? Let me finish this thing. I'm thinking of breaking up my girlfriend and exploring for girls to have sex with. Is that a good idea or bad? Well, I'll cut to you this way. You and whoever you're Shannon, you and Jay and Shannon are not going to live happily ever after. There will be a time where you guys go your different ways.
Yeah, you're only 15, man.
Yeah,
I mean, there's very rare times where...
People meet at 15 and stay forever. That's not
married to your high school sweetheart, things like that.
Yeah.
Dude. But it's pretty rare.
Is he even high school yet? 15? I think you gotta be 16.
No, you're about 13 when you get to high school, man. You're about 13 or 14, man. Ninth grade, you're about 14.
Let me see. I dropped out at 16 because you need your parents to...
You're out of...
Jesus. Okay, it didn't fall.
You're out of high school by the time you're 18. By the time you're 18, you're out of high school, and there's 4 years of high school. So you're 13 or 14 when you go in.
Yeah, and some kids are summer kids. Okay.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. But eventually you're gonna explore some other chicks. So just decide if you're done with Shannon or not.
I can't. We did a shout out to Shannon, and then
now we're telling her. Yeah.
Then he says, "I'm thinking about breaking up with my girlfriend." Well, I hope to God that Shannon's not listening, bro, because you just
if she is listening, she just made the decision for you. You're getting dumped the next time.
You're getting dumped, bro. You better dump her before she dumps you, man. You just told her on live radio or live TV you're about to break up with her.
What's the chances that he just took a picture with a pretty girl and said, "Yo, I'm banging this chick in the ass," and blah blah blah?
You think so? You think so?
15 years old, anal sex.
Jay!
You gotta be quite the...
Jay!
How many 15-year-old girls do you know are willing to say, go ahead, shove it in my ass?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like I said, and I would be nervous to try and approach a girl with that now, and I'm almost 30. You know what I mean? That's a touchy situation. Can I stick my dick in your ass?
Man.
Obviously you don't word it that, but you know what I'm saying.
Man. Jay, come on, brother. Alright, let's see here. We got Paul Velasquez. Bryan versus Ambrose is awesome on Raw last night. The ending promos with Triple H, Dan O'Brien, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels were done to perfection at Hell in a Cell. Who wins? Cena or ADR? Card looks sweet. I have a buddy in the crowd at Bound for Glory. He said he walked by Tenay and Taz the way they were watching football. I found
they were watching football.
Yeah. So...
Well, we've heard that. They had it on their little monitors and
right,
stuff,
yeah.
It doesn't affect their jobs.
It really doesn't, man. I mean, they're good on commentary. Who wins between Cena and ADR?
I was just thinking that. You think Cena has to win.
Cena's got to win. His return night, Hell in a Cell, he's got to win. He's got to win.
But
But it doesn't make any sense because then he would hold the world title.
What do you do at Survivor Series with him?
That's true.
And he's scheduled to be on both Raw and SmackDown leading
now,
into...
Cena wins. Cena wins.
Just for a little dirt. He's scheduled to be on both Raw and SmackDown leading into Survivor Series. After Survivor Series, exclusively Raw.
Okay.
So maybe he drops the world title at Survivor Series.
Maybe Sandow cashes in at Survivor Series on John Cena to put...
We had this whole discussion about...
They want to get
got the armbar, and Cena's got the fucked up arm he's coming back from.
Right.
So he could fuck up Cena's arm, almost tap him, but still lose, and then Cena's like, oh, his arm's hurt again, and Damien Sandow's like, oh shit, here I come,
motherfucker. You ready? I got it. John Cena wins the title at Hell in the Cell. They go on the Survivor Series, John Cena's world champion. They do a rematch between John Cena and Alberto Del Rio at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Del Rio locks on the armbar, like you said, fucks with his arm. Cena taps out. Cena's got an injured arm. Oh my God, Cena. The announcers, Cena's going to have to take time off. Damien Sandow's music comes out. He cashes in on an injured John Cena, gets the title, and what better way to put Damien Sandow over than to have him defeat the face of WWE.
We already said all this a couple
Cena.
weeks ago. Yeah,
I say that.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
It makes John Cena look good on his return night back. He wins the world title. John Cena's back at the next pay-per-view. They do the rematch. Damien Sandow.
It's very creative and it's very smart and it's a lot for Sandow, but I guarantee you that's not the mindset that they have. The mindset they have is how can we bring Cena in strong and keep him strong.
Right.
So that doesn't do anything for him, what we just said. So I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
You got me really preoccupied with this tech shit. What else do we got? It's past 10 o'clock.
It's past 10 o'clock. We're almost out of here, bro. We got a couple more. Jason.
Is it real bad?
It's not. Will you listen? You people in the chat room, right? When shit like this happens, right? When I throw my phone up,
it's bad.
And out of all places,
no, is the text bad? You said, wait till you see what the text says. Is it bad?
It's not terrible.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
Let's go.
But it's things like that, right? That people don't expect to happen on live radio. I throw my phone
live radio.
TV,
whatever.
I take my phone, right, and I throw it up, right? It can land anywhere. Do you know where it landed? Right on the edge of the beer glass. What happens? The beer glass spills over.
Let me show somebody
off.
You said it could land anywhere. He threw it right in front of him, and this is what's right in front of him, right here. All of that. So where is a good place for it to land?
I thought it was going over here.
Okay.
I thought it was going over here. All right? So I throw the phone up, and I'm thinking it's going to go off to the side. It hits the beer glass. It falls over. We don't know what to do. We're on live radio. Yeah. You stall. It makes for good radio.
Oh, no. People like really on the text. You said, where do you see this? And that's what I'm focused on.
People are thinking,
what's on that text?
This is a complete train wreck, is what they're thinking.
But it's entertaining.
And they love it.
Yeah.
They love it because it's a train wreck.
It's like you can either laugh with somebody or you can laugh at them. Right now they're laughing at us.
If you guys saw
but they're
this
still
table,
laughing.
I mean, you saw my area over here. The back by Boone's computer, it's soaked.
A fucking mess.
It's soaked.
Well, we can show them. Why don't we just show them?
We'll show them. Yeah. Show them. Do you see? I mean, look at our whole thing is just completely soaked over here. All this stuff over here, it's a wreck. So when we go off the air here, we're gonna have to clean all this up here in a minute. But for live radio, it's good radio.
Like I said, you can laugh with us or laugh at us. Either way you're laughing. So
and we laugh at ourselves. Yeah, we laugh at ourselves, man.
Hey, look, my computer didn't shut down. I don't care.
I get the hate mail. I get the hate mail on the websites all the time. You should see some of this stuff. I hope Brian Clark dies of AIDS. I hope Brian Clark dies of cancer. I laugh at it.
Tammy Sitch got with that when she said
don't let it upset you, man. There's always going to be that select few people out there that are going to hate you, man. They're not going to like you, man. But they're going to come back and visit the website. Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares, man?
You're talking to the king of I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So,
but you do, because I hear you in here sometimes. I hear you. No, I try to tell you, bro.
That's because of money. I care about money.
Let it go.
Yeah, I care about money.
Right.
To make money, I got to make him money.
Right.
And I see stuff that I'm like, we could make money more if we did this or that, or if you didn't do this or that. So I get invested emotionally where I should be like, who cares? But I care because I want more money.
I hear you. I hear you. Anyways, all right, we're going to take one more rapid fire, and then we're going to get out of here because we have an early night. Dixie Carter, this guy, Paul Velasquez, posted a question. How is this? I told you. I don't like that new look, man. I don't like the new look by Dixie Carter.
Big match on Thursday, y'all. So make sure to watch. Scores at .77 in the ratings.
Anthony Remy,
text on the picture.
Ryan Clark and Matt Boone, thank you for shipping my shirt. And Army, thank you for the support. You're welcome, brother.
And I apologize.
My apologies. Again, bro.
Even though I had nothing to do with it, honestly, but I apologize.
Jake Stott, why did the tomato blush? It saw the salad dressing. Wah, 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 wah.
I was reading Jay's other girlfriend.
Ryan Shoptaw, with Lady Tappa teaming with Gail Kim, do you see this as a way to bring back Awesome Kong and having her feud with the
That would be cool.
What I thought. That would be awesome, man.
That would be cool.
And she's a free agent now, right? She's not under contract with WWE.
She gets into fights with what's her face, cunthead on Twitter.
Rebby Sky.
She's hot, by the way. I would fucking kill the banger.
No doubt, she's hot, bro. Yeah. But yeah.
Afterwards,
anyways,
leave me alone. Yeah.
We got a mess to clean up, brother.
We have a mess to clean up. You hear that?
Can you help me clean up the mess?
Clean up. It's my room. I want it clean.
Thank you.
Yeah. Unlike your room.
All right, we're out of here. We're done. That's another Tuesday night in the books.
I gotta say, hour 2, that was fun.
Okay. Hour 1 sucked?
I didn't like
hour 1 sucked.
Hour 1 was a good.
Was it fun because I fucked up big time?
No, that was a good capper to an already decent. I mean, we were dancing and freestyling and fucking taking fun calls and joking around. I thought that was a more lighthearted, entertaining hour, whereas hour 1 wasn't that entertaining, but it was very good for wrestling talk.
They want the wrestling talk.
I get bored with wrestling talk.
I don't think they like I don't think they like the extra curricular activities.
I think our regulars do because they've seen us enough that like it's almost like if you watch your TMZ, if you maybe watched that and they had their little jokes that like running jokes, I'd be like, what the fuck are they talking? Shut up and tell me what the celebrity gossip is. But if you're a regular, like, oh, here they go again, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, but
right.
You know. So
do you know UK?
What do you say? Clark, you going down this week in WZR? You gotta reference what you're doing. Nobody knows except for you.
They got a TV. If he doesn't know that I'm fucking...
No. For the people that aren't in the chat room.
Oh. Well, that's their problem. If you're not in the chat room, I plug it 15 times a show.
Tell them.
If you're not in there, see you Thursday. See you Thursday night. See you Thursday night, Dino UK. That's it.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
We're done. For Matt Boone. That's me. Feedback. This is Ryan Clark.
That's him.
Feedback.
We want your feedback. Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR. The top post will ask for your feedback on tonight's show. Let us know what you liked. We'll do more of it. Let us know what you didn't like. We'll do less of it. This is how we get better. We custom fit the show for you like a glove. For me, Matt Boone. This is Ryan Clark. That's him. See you next Tuesday night for WZR TV Tuesday. 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Motherfucking Bo!